I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rocker Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the premiere Knicks in the Nighttime show, the Knicks at Night podcast. Salute to all my people out there rocking with us. Salute to the Lawrence Tears family. Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Let's get it, everybody. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get that energy up, man. Salute to everybody, man, coming through, rocking with us, whether you're watching this live in a live stream or whether you're watching this, whether you're watching this on replay or whether you're just listening to us as you go about your business, maybe in your headphones through your speaker. Salute to everybody, man. Let me shout out everybody. Let me shout out my people in the chat. JJ, what's good, man? I see you, boss. JJ, what's good, man? See them Mets won today. Excited about that, man. Salute. Salute the son of the legend. The Kerry Cox is in the building. Allah Wise is in the building. Salute, man. Can't wait to see y'all, man, with this Lawrence Tears meetup in October. Charlotte, North Carolina. We coming your way. Charlotte, North Carolina, all the North Carolina Knicks fans. Man, can't wait to see y'all, man. Charlotte, North Carolina, let's go. Knicks fans headed your way. We coming to take over. We coming through there to scream, let's go Knicks all night. Let's go. Allah Wise is in the building. Drip Moore is in the building. Andios, what's good? See Andios growing on IG, man. Make sure y'all check out Andios on IG, man, for real. Brooklyn Buddha is in the building. Salute. Salute. King Ribby is in the building. Probably fresh out. Yo, nobody stay fresher than King Ribby for sure. Nobody stays fresher than King Ribby. King Ribby must be from Harlem or somewhere. That man stay fresh. Somebody was talking to me about King Ribby the other day, and it was like, Ribby is fresh dressed like $1 million. Y'all know the rest. Fresh dressed like $1 million. Y'all know the rest. Kerry Cox says Colorado won that game. That defense is horrible. Wow. I saw some replays of it. I saw some highlights of it. I saw some highlights of it. So Dad, Corey Lee called me, man. I was asleep, bro. Man, my bad. Lee called me earlier, man. I missed it, man. I was asleep. Jay Boogie called me. Yo, shout out to Jay Boogie, man. Corey Lee. Man, I missed that, man. I was sleepy. So if you call me, man, and I missed it, man, I missed it. I just missed it. So for Shizza's in the building, for sure. Charlotte, North Carolina, we coming your way in about 6 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. 5 weeks. Wow, the Knicks preseason starts in 5 weeks. We coming your way. We coming your way. We coming through the hangout. Yeah, man, we coming through the hangout, man. We gonna have some fun. Man, we gonna have some fun, man. We gonna have a good time, man. Hey, Kerry Cox, what was the score of that Colorado game? I missed it, man. By the time I woke up, man, I just saw that Travis Hunter mossed 2 people. I just saw that Travis Hunter mossed 2 people. I didn't get a chance to see the score. But yeah, y'all. I'm excited. I honestly can't believe the Knicks preseason starts in 5 weeks. Just Knicks is in the building. King Embert in the building. Before I get started on what I expect to see in the preseason, I just want to say, man, consider becoming a member. For one, go to the Lawrence Tears YouTube page, select your option. Y'all know what to do, man. Click the join button, become a member. So this week, I plan to do for the members only show will probably be Saturday morning. I'll be working tomorrow morning, so I won't be able to do those on Fridays anymore. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do the schedule, man, for the Knicks morning drive. Just got a separate gig, man. You know, got to pay some bills around here. Got to pay some bills around here, so y'all know how that go. But consider becoming a member. Go to the Lawrence Tears YouTube page. Find the Lawrence Tears logo, 4 o'clock off of that, in that 4 o'clock direction. Click the join button. Become a member. Be a part of the members only live stream, and be a part of the members only Facebook conversation, man. The Facebook conference call we're gonna start doing. That's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, share, all that cool stuff. So what do I expect to see? So for one, no lie, I get to see my main man Jay Boogie in person, man. Ain't nothing like rocking with Jay Boogie in person. Jay Boogie is my guy. Jay Boogie legit is a celebrity. He a superstar. So it's like, man, being with Jay Boogie at these public events is like being with a rock star at a public event. So shout out to my man Jay Boogie. Just Nick says, what does it take for Jalen Brunson to be MVP? I'm gonna get to that, bro. I got Big Dog. I promise you, I got you. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put a star. I'm gonna put a star on your comment, because I was gonna break something down, but it's gonna get to that. I'm kind of doing it in like a order. I'm gonna get to that. That's a very, 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 very good question. That's a very good question. And the cool thing is we can have a dialogue about it. We can talk about it. This is our safe space where we could talk about stuff. Fritz Alcindor is in the building. Salute. Check out the Knicks Economy Show. Y'all show some love for Jackson Heights' very own Fritz Alcindor. Shout out to St. Albans' very own Fritz Alcindor. Yeah, man. Salute to Fritz, man. Fritz in the building. I don't want to get too basketball-y, because I don't know if Knicks fans actually like the basketball-y talk. Like, I don't know if Knicks fans really like the on-court breakdown stuff. I don't know if y'all are fans of that or not. Y'all don't like for me to talk about the 5-man sealing off a guy in the paint while one guy 45 cuts and the backside the backside spacer stays parallel with the feet of the guy that's sealing on the box. I know y'all don't like to talk about stuff like that, right? But what I will say is this. I do believe the Knicks are in a space where somebody on this team is probably going to have a career year offensively, right? And it's leading into something that Just Nick said. It's leading into something that Just Nick said. But I want to go over the options first. I want to go over the options first, and then may have you make a determination. Because if things go right, Jalen Brunson could be in the league MVP conversation. JJ asked the question, well, if that's said, who takes the back seat? I hate to say it, but the clear loser in touches, if everybody stays healthy, the player that's going to take the significant step backwards offensively, Dante DiVincenzo and Deuce McBride. Those are the guys that are going to take the step backwards. Honestly, based on what I think the offense is going to look like, I think they're just going to run that 1-4 to death. And I know basically what we're asking is are the Knicks going to be a heavy pick and roll offense? That's what y'all asking me. Are y'all asking me if the Knicks are going to be in a heavy pick and roll offense? And so what I'm going to say is modern NBA offenses are loaded with picks, screens, right? So basically what I'm getting at is modern NBA offenses is going to be loaded with guys that pick for each other and rub defenders off and force defenders to switch, right? If you're asking me, are there going to be plays where guys are designated screeners? Yes. So what's my expectation? My expectation for the Knicks offense is a very efficient Knicks offense. There are going to be some nights where the Knicks offense looks unstoppable. I'm going to say there are going to be 20 or 25 nights that the Knicks offense is going to look absolutely unstoppable. And when I say absolutely unstoppable, what I mean is it's going to feel like dream sequence. You know how in the movie where everything goes right and it's like the dream sequence, like the little cloud, the chimes are playing, maybe some cloud around the screen, like soap operas, the dream sequence. There are going to be some nights where the Knicks look so good offensively that it's going to be like the dream sequence, like the offense can't be stopped. And then there'll be other nights where a team will play the best defense they'll play all season, and the Knicks will get clutch moments, and it'll feel like a dream also. For instance, I can't believe how Mikal Bridges hit that game-winning 3 against the Celtics with 2 seconds left. We'll have those moments too, also. Right? And how we get there is going to be by motion, a lot of it. Not just a designed motion offense, because designed motion offenses for the most part don't work. They don't. right? You have to have guys with high basketball IQ in order for. Joe is in the building. Fritz, what's good? Bim, what's good, boss?
Hey, what's going on, Uncle Freezy?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm up here, bro. I don't want to overstate how good the Knicks offense is going to be this year, not just because of personnel, but personnel groupings. There are going to be some personnel groupings I think you'll see this year where just by having certain skill sets on the floor, defenses won't be able to defend them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just the mere fact that Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby are going to be on the same team puts defenses in jeopardy already.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have probably two of the top 10 best move without the ball guys, spot up guys at the same time. Like they're low maintenance offensive weapons. They don't need the ball in their hands to score, but they know how to cut to the basket, right? How to do it, right? How to relocate for others. Like Mikal Bridges is great at being the. You play chess?
No, I wish I did.
You don't play chess?
You know what?
You're a calculator guy?
Nobody's even like attempted to show me how to play chess ever.
Really? You're a calculator guy from St.
Just
Albans,
checkers.
and you don't play and you don't play chess?
Yeah, I have no idea.
A calculator guy from Jackson Heights that don't play chess?
It look interesting though.
So basically what I'm getting at is Mikal Bridges is not the king or queen on your chessboard. He's like the bishop. Like he's going to be the guy that sets up, that clears the path for the king and the queen on the chessboard to come through and wipe out the chessboard. Right? He'll be the bishop.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the knight, or the well, not even the knight. He'll be the bishop or the rook. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, Mitchell Robinson will be the knight for us, but he'll be the those who will be the guys that are gonna wipe out pieces off the board, and it's gonna make Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson's life a lot easier offensively. Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at the Knicks probably overall shooting about 48% from the floor, 48.5% from the floor, about 39% from three, and that's 39% from three is amazing. By the way, amazing. 39. If the entire team shoots 39% from three,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
If Julius has a deep, I know Julius he hasn't had a great year from three in a couple of years, but if he has one of those years, yeah, it's over.
Yeah. I think you can expect Randall to shoot overall about 37% is my guess. Right, but it won't be a come out the gate shoot 37%. I think the separated shoulders still has something to do with. I think once December gets here, I think you'll see him shooting around that 40% range, and it's going to pull his overall yearly percentage to about 37. I think he's going to be about 30, 31 out the gate, and then once he gets into a rhythm, I think you'll see him basically first 25 games. I think it's 30%. And the rest of the schedule, I think it's going to be about 40%. And I think that number is going to settle in at around 40%. I mean, 37%. Which for the Knicks, if we can get Randall shooting at about 40% from January through June, I think we're the NBA champs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If we can get OG Anunoby in that 38, 39 range, if we can get McCall in that 39 range, and then the historically great shooters like Dante and Jalen Brunson at 42, 43, then I think now you're talking about an offense that can't be stopped, even with Mitch not being a gravitas impact on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I think the key thing with Mitchell Robinson, what would make the Knicks offense, and listen, hey, and I'm gonna get to the question that was asked about Jalen Brunson and MVP, but I think what would make Jalen Brunson MVP, Mitchell Robinson averaging 10 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
If Mitch can seal his man, Mitch is about 250, 255, whatever his weight is.
Mm-hmm.
If he can just seal his man on those perimeter skip passes, all he has to do is just seal. If he seals his man, right, just seals his man, and we throw post engine. Now all Mitchell Robinson has to do is try to dunk from 2 feet away. And if Mitchell Robinson and Mitch, if you listen, I'm not a hater, bro. I love Mitch, right? But if Mitch can't dunk a basketball from 2 feet away, we just got to move on. We believe he can do it. But if Mitch ain't that guy no more, where he can't finish from 2 feet away, what are we actually doing out here? Yeah. I think Mitch still got like 5 or 6 years of that left in his game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all he has to do is just catch it 2 feet away and just yam it on somebody.
I know, but Brunson gotta look to put a lob. Brunson don't like easy baskets.
Yeah,
he don't like easy baskets.
Yeah. Well,
he need those Trae Young, just easy possessions. Like he don't do those.
If I may, if I can just add a little bit to that,
mm-hmm.
I think this is the most talented team Jalen Brunson has ever played on. Right, offensively, I think you'll see Jalen Brunson realize that you don't have to be 6'6" to play point guard. Right? You don't have to be stat-centric in your mind in order to make the all-star team. You have to be impact-centric. Like if you pass the ball, the numbers will come. Same thing with Randall, right? It's not just a Brunson thing. When you trust your teammates, the stats will come.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Especially Randall was guilty to a fault of that in his early on in his Knicks career.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got we kind of were on him a little bit too harshly about him holding the ball. Like look at why is he waiting on Reggie Bullock to get open? Why is he waiting for Alfred Payton to get open? Why is he waiting for Frank Ntilikina to cut past the guy he holding the ball, holding it, waiting for Frank, looking for Frank, waiting for Taj Gibson to beat his man and holding the ball. And we're like, yo, Randall, why are you holding the ball? Other people like Dre just say he processed slow, right? Personally, I think he's a high IQ basketball player. To me, I think he was legitimate, the good quarterback with not so great receivers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. It's like the year when you remember the year when Peyton Manning was quarterback and his receivers were Pierre Garçon and Austin Collie.
Yep. He's my favorite quarterback, so yeah, I watched all that.
You remember that? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
When their left tackle retired, to Tariq something, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And then Reggie Wayne was hurt, I think, or maybe just old. Pierre Garçon was out there. What's the guy from Ohio State? The Spanish guy. Anthony something. He ran for Senate. Anthony Gonzalez. You remember Anthony Gonzalez? Don't call me Tony Gonzalez. This Hispanic dude from Ohio State. Yeah, nobody remembers.
Yeah, I think I remember. Yeah,
Austin Collie. When Peyton Manning, after Marvin Harrison retired, you're like, who's he gonna throw to? And you got Austin Collie, Pierre Garçon, Anthony. Yeah. And you're like, dang, bro, Peyton Manning he looked mortal. And then he left Indianapolis and played for Denver, and he had weapons, and all of a sudden he looked like the second coming of, whatever. I think that was the case with Randall. When you're out there and the defense doesn't respect Frank Ntilikina, Alfred Payton, R.J. Barrett, Alec Burks, when the defense doesn't respect them guys, but they double team Randall. But now that Randall does have weapons, I think you won't see that, and I don't think you'll see it from Brunson either. I think you'll see MVP caliber. I think you'll see a MVP caliber season from Jalen Brunson, all based on him sharing and not shooting. Right? The more he gets it, the more his numbers, because the difference between Jalen Brunson looking like 28 points a game and 6 assists, and 26 points a game and 10 assists is an MVP type. Those are Jokic type numbers. 26, 10, maybe 5 rebounds, something like that. Those type numbers, I think, are going to get him in the MVP conversation. Salute the bully. Bully's in the building. LI1 is in the building. Salute. Is that your line of thinking also, or are you thinking something different?
I expect Randall's numbers to go down, but he should have fun this year. I don't think every year. I think it's gonna be a fun year for him.
His numbers. So what numbers are going down for him?
Points.
Okay.
Points is down. I think maybe rebounds are up. It may actually be up. And assists are up, and assists should go up too.
Okay.
But
so you think his points will go down because he won't take as many shots?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna take as many shots.
Yeah.
I think the ball gotta circulate more.
Yeah. So who's gonna take those shots? Who's gonna take those shots away from Randall?
I think Bridges.
Okay.
I really think Dante's gonna put in close to the same amount of minutes. A little less. I think you're just gonna fit Mikal in a little bit more.
Okay. I forgot I brought AD up without his intro. Hold on for just a second. Let me do this. Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week when you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real Anthony D, and your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezy. Yo.
Bim.
So we were just talking about Randall's numbers may be down, his scoring may be down. I waver on that. I understand where Fritz is coming from. I waver on that a little bit. Not because I mentioned that probably back during the summer. I think Randall's shot attempts are going to go down, but I think his effective field goal percentage is going to be way higher without him being double teamed all the time. Without teams legit putting a ghost defender on him, a man and a ghost defender on him at the same time. So it seems like I may waffle on that, and maybe I am. But I don't know I'm in that space where,
You can't have waffle without chicken.
yeah, well, that is true. Truer words have never been spoken. So yeah, but yeah, so if Randall is, to Fritz's point, if Randall is not 25 points a game, maybe he's 21 points a game, and the Knicks are winning games easier. Is that not the same as Jalen Brunson not scoring 28 a game, but scoring 25 points a game, and the Knicks are winning easier?
Salute Nick fans. Salute Fritz.
I'm gonna grab a water. I'll be right back, y'all.
I don't know if that's the same thing. You know what I mean? When you are who you are, sometimes, and all of a sudden, because you got a couple of new pieces in, someone to start getting a little bit more money, they want more shots, they want more turns. If you all are on the same page, it can go left. You know what I mean? If some guys may have to take less because it's going to be less minutes at certain points in time in the game, but I don't necessarily think that Randall is going to go from 24 to 19 or something like that. I think he's around 21, 22 still. So more guys, yes, but some guys are just going to have to fall in line. That's just what it is. And I guess I'm talking to like the OGs of the world. I'm not looking for OG to all of a sudden, because he got $212 million, that he's going to go from what? How much he averaged last year, Fritz? 14, 15? Something like that? To go from that to...
Yeah, I think 15, like something 15.4 or something like that. It wasn't a lot.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, if it's not broke, then why fix it? Same thing for Mikal. What did Mikal average with Jersey? Slightly under 20?
7. Yeah. Around 18, I think. 18, 19.
It's about putting it all together. The more I watch older basketball games, and for some particular reason, lately it's just been in my queue. I'm waking up to Celtics, this, that, and I'm looking at, there's a lot of offensive talent on that team or on some of these teams, and you never heard them talking about, well, you got to get 13, you got to get 14, you got to get 16. They just rolled out the balls and they just went out there and the scorers was going to score, but you just had better talent around you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like hopefully they don't fall, and I don't foresee this, they don't fall into a trap of, I got to get mine tonight. This is my possession.
Yeah. I know, Uncle Freeze, you said Jalen's numbers going down.
Yeah.
If they go down, it won't be down much. And the reason why I don't think it's going to go down much is I think the refs have to start protecting him. I don't think he got the benefit of the call last year. Like, he hit the ground a lot last season.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're going to let that happen this year.
That's not the point that I'm talking about.
No, but I think he's going to get to the line more, because I think he's going to get a little bit more respect from the refs.
That's probably true. That's probably true. And what you're mentioning is a counterbalance to what I'm saying about maybe he take less shots, maybe he get those points back. Right? What I'm saying is, I think the Knicks took what?
Your mic is going in and out, Freeze.
Okay. So the Knicks took 85 shots a game. Let me see. Let me make sure. Wait a minute. Hold on. The Knicks took, as a team, where is the number? Where is it? As a team last year, the Knicks took 88.7 shots a game. Right? And as a team, they shot 46.5% from the floor. Right? Last year's gold standard was the Indiana Pacers. They shot 50.7% from the floor. Right? And so the Knicks shot 46.5% from the floor. That was in the bottom third in the NBA. Right. What I'm saying is the Knicks won't be in the bottom third in effective field goal percentage this year. I think they'll take more shots because you don't have to dribble, probe, run screens, create mismatch. You won't have to do that as much this year because the Knicks will have better talent. Right. And I also think with that better talent, the Knicks won't shoot 46.5% from the floor. I think you'll see them in that 48% range. And just off that alone, just off of more shots and better conversion, I think you'll see the team score more points. I don't think they'll be dynamic. I don't think all of a sudden they'll be the Golden State Warriors. I think they'll just be a better version of what they've been the past 3 years.
I see it too with you, Freeze, but again, you got to get guys that, you hopefully everybody just buys in. You know what I mean? Just buys in, and we're not worried about the small stuff.
Right.
Because that's where a lot of that comes from. The NBA season is like baseball. It's a long season.
Yeah. You remember the 1988 New York Knicks, the 1989 New York Knicks? Remember those teams?
Yeah.
Where everybody was bought in with playing offense and defense together? Remember the nights where Johnny Newman was going off and everybody was going and patting Johnny Newman on the back and encouraging Johnny Newman? I think that's what we're looking at. Like, you'll have a great centerpiece. You'll have a great secondary player. But on most nights, it's all about just being efficient and not trying to establish a go-to player. And to be honest with you, I think championship level teams don't establish a go-to player. I think they establish that they'll do whatever it takes to win. And sometimes a go-to player will step up and do whatever it takes. But teams that say that's my number one option, we're gonna go as far as he carries us, always lead to this conversation in the offseason that you need to add more talent around your primary guy. And it rarely works.
I mean, okay, that's one way to look at it. I'm looking at it more like this, that we get a certain swagger. And when you have a certain swagger, when you good and you have a certain swagger about you, Freeze, and you dusting teams off when you're supposed to dust teams off, it makes things a lot easier.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I remember as a kid, every Saturday or Sunday when they would put Philly on in that 83 run, they were smacking everybody.
Right.
Golden State, their 73 run. Steph was doing the kick step on a nightly basis.
Right.
That's how good they were.
Right.
But also when when you're that good, like a lot of teams lose even before the ball's tossed. Like the one bad streak, and yeah, they're just done. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like Golden State's death lineup in the third quarter, they would come out after halftime and just put the pedal to the metal, and in the fourth quarter, everybody got their warm-ups on, because usually they're up by 29 with 10 minutes left to go.
And if that's not ultimate, throw it in your face. That death lineup was like, was anybody over 6'7"?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Was anybody over 6'7" in that death lineup?
And they wanted that. They wanted that lineup to play together too.
And that came from the name of the. It's not like that's something that the media or the fans gave them, whatever. That's their name for their team, the Death lineup. What?
Yep.
At the time, they didn't even won a championship yet. When the death lineup was wrong, they didn't even won their first champ. They were on their way.
Yeah, we're on the way. Yeah.
You get that swagger and that confidence, like, you know what? It's not your night.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, neither.
Yeah.
When you start going on, when you good Freezy, when you on the road. That's why I love the Garden, absolutely. Nothing like the Garden or whatever. But when you on the road and you take it from a team, Freezy, in front of their fans,
right,
in front of their women,
yeah,
you done took their heart. You done stepped on them.
Yeah, that's a different feeling.
That's a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
And you mean it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back here the next time around. I'm gonna do it again.
Right.
That's what I hope for them. To have that kind of, because when you got that kind of, it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Doesn't matter who's tonight's your night. Like I said, I heard Berg say one time, if I knew 70 was that big of a deal in 86, we'd have crushed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what? C-Sting and them was playing half the time.
Yeah.
They were crushing people.
Yeah. Paxson, remember Jim Paxson? Yeah. Jerry Seaston, Jim Paxson, yeah.
So that's what you want. You want that. Then you find, even though they didn't win it, those early 2000 Jersey teams had that swagger.
Yeah.
They used to give it to us, Freezy.
Yeah.
And take pride.
Those were the days when we were considered Fugazi. Remember the Fugazi days?
Tim Thomas.
Yeah. Those are the Fugazi days.
Thomas played half of a playoff game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and so Fritz, I understand where you're coming from. I think I agree with you. I do believe Jalen Brunson will start to get the whistle. Because he's put two straight seasons, two straight MVP consideration seasons together. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm drinking seltzer water. I mean sparkling water. I'm sorry, but so I think he put the seasons together where now he'll get to start to get the whistle. I honestly believe though that his load will be lighter because teams can't afford to put their best wing defender on him if Julius Randle is on the floor. Like you can't put your best 6'7" defender on Brunson and not on Randle. Or you can't put your best 6'7" defender on Randle and not on Brunson. Right? You can't have, there won't be nights where, for instance, there won't be nights where, say, a team like Philadelphia, who's going to have Paul George, they're going to have Kenyon Martin Jr., they're going to have Caleb Martin. There won't be nights where Caleb Martin can leave Julius Randle, right? We know Caleb Martin can't guard Julius Randle. We know that, right? We know that already. Caleb Martin they say he's 6'6". He doesn't look like he's that size, but even so, no power forward in the league can guard Randle. I take that back. The only power forward that I think can guard Randle is Anthony Davis. That's it. That's it. Right? Notice I included Giannis in that group because when we saw Giannis in that ABC game guarding Randle and going into halftime, he was complaining to the refs talking about Randle was too physical. I already knew right then that Randle had his heart. Like he did not want that matchup. He too physical, ref. He too physical. You gotta blow the whistle. When I heard that, bro, I was like, you know what? He got him. When a physical freak is complaining about somebody being a physical freak, you got him.
Yeah. Randall, if you show a little weakness, like he do it especially to rookies. Like you show that you won't match his energy, like he'll embarrass you. Like he goes out there and embarrass people.
Yeah, if y'all remember There's a clip of a young Randall that blocked an old Kevin Garnett at the rim, and Kevin Garnett was talking trash to him, and Randall kept walking to him, getting up in his jersey, and Kevin Garnett had to push Randall away. The very, very young Julius Randall, right? The one where Randall was a pest. People didn't like him because he was pestering. Like you remember the old guard? Remember, like there was an old guard we held near and dear. Like there are guys like Kevin Durant is like that type of guy now. We might not want him on our team, but we respect what he did for the NBA throughout his career.
Mm-hmm.
Like you respect him, right? And in his prime, you wish he were on your team in his prime, but now he's past that state.
I take him right now.
Yeah, he's an elder statesman now.
That's fine.
Right? Yeah, and then you have the young up and comer, and back then is what I'm referencing. Back then, the cats like Julius Randle who were pushing a prime Kevin Love out of bounds, just shoving him to the ground. You're like, dang, man, this dude, who this dude think he is, right? But the point that I'm getting at ultimately, Fritz, with your point is, I think Randall will take less shots overall. And I think Brunson will take less shots overall, but their points per game may dip. It may not. Their points per game may increase, right? I honestly believe in my heart, though, the Knicks take 88 shots a game. I think that number will get closer to 90, right? And it's not because we'll be running a faster pace. I think it just won't take us 22 seconds in the shot clock to find the shot, right? And I think in the offense we'll be running. I think we'll probably be finding shots at about 14 seconds, 15 seconds, 16 seconds. And when you take into account Mitchell Robinson being healthy, us rebounding misses, I think it's going to ground teams down, and teams are, like what you said, teams will probably start to submit. But the people that will see their shots decrease significantly, it won't be Randall, right? I think his shots will maybe go down by 1 or 2. It won't be Brunson. His shots maybe go down by maybe 2. I think it's going to be Josh Hart's shots are going to go. Deuce McBride's shots are going to go down. Dante DiVincenzo, his shot diet completely is going to Mikal Bridges. RJ Barrett's shot diet is completely going to OG Anunoby, right? If we think about Jalen at the start of the season last year, Jalen Brunson shot a lot. RJ shot a lot. We had guys coming off the bench that combined to shoot a lot. I think we were getting like 35, 40 shots off the bench with Quickly and others. I think you'll see those shots go to OG Anunoby, right? But I think probably instead of 30 shots a game off the bench, I think you'll probably see that number be like 20, 25 shots a game.
You don't think Dante has the green light? Like all season, if Dante, if you see, if you're open and there's no one in front of you, you can shoot it.
Yeah.
It was green light.
Yeah.
You think he still has a green light?
Yeah, I think he's got the green light, right? I think if this makes sense, I think he has a green light, but I don't think he will get to those stoplights as much to get the green light, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that the Knicks won't allow him to shoot. What I'm saying is last year when Brunson went to the bench, they gave him carte blanche to generate his own offense. At one point, Dante averaged 20 points a game after the All-Star break. But that was with all these guys hurt. With all these guys in January, Dante was complimentary.
And he'll be that again, but Freezy, the 3 is never going anywhere. It's just going to get more and more guys. It's going to take more and more threes because that's just a part of the game. Yeah. And when you got good 3-point shooters, like what was his numbers coming into the Knicks off the catch from 3? 41%. What was his numbers this year off the catch from 3? 41%.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like they like someone like him, for instance, unless he goes totally in a funk for games on end, they're not going to necessarily take the light from him because he eases the load in a way of when he's on the court in the wing, you can't double, right? It's about the spread game. He's going to take the three.
Yeah.
He's going to take the deep three as well.
Well, the point that I'm getting at though is Dante on the. Yeah, I remember the January Knicks, right? January Knicks was a real thing, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the January Knicks, Dante DiVincenzo was averaging about 10 shots a game. When OG and Randall got hurt, he came out the last 2 games of January. He took 22 shots, and that bumped his number up to 12.1 shots per game. But Dante DiVincenzo was not 12 shots a game in January with the January Knicks. He was about 10 shots a game. And if you remember the Miami game, Julius Randle and OG Anunoby, both after that game, they both left for a significant stretch, right? And then during that stretch, Dante DiVincenzo averaged about 20 shots a game, right? About 19 and a half shots a game. But when guys started coming back, Dante's numbers went down to 16 shots a game. And then in April, where guys were really, really back, not all the way, but kinda, his shot diet went down to 15 shots a game. And that's with Bogey struggling, Burks with the shoulder, OG trying to play his way into the rotation, Mitchell Robinson trying to figure it out, all of that. So ultimately, what I'm saying is I think Dante is going to settle in to that 12 shots a game thing. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in the neighborhood of being 5 for 12 most nights, maybe 3 for 8 from 3 or something like that. But I can't see him. I can't see after the All-Star break I can't see that man having an offensive workload like he did when a lot of the guys were out due to injury. I don't if Dante DiVincenzo is a bigger part of the offense than Julius Randle, something went horribly wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Something went horribly wrong.
Right.
That means Randle was hurt again.
That means Randle is hurt or something really weird happened. So if we can expect just Dante to be in that 8 shots per game range, 12 shots per game range, and Josh Hart to be in that 7 shots per game range, and Deuce to be in that 6-7 shots per game range, then that's good for us. Because that means Jalen Brunson is still in that 18 and a half, 19 shots per game, and Randall is in that 17 and a half shots per game. Randall, you don't expect an all-star in his prime to go from 18 shots a game to 14 shots a game just because fans want to see somebody else touch the basketball. That's not real life. That's not the world that success lives in.
True, but let me ask you this. Let me flip it a little bit. Do you think the Knicks are better with Randall scoring more or scoring less?
Scoring more is always probably the best option. Are you asking me scoring more or shooting more?
I'm asking you if he was the same Randall before he got hurt, same numbers.
January Randall.
Same okay. January Randall. Are they better off?
Yes. You know how I know? Look at that January record when that January Knicks team. How good was that January Knicks team?
They were very good.
Very good, right?
Yeah, I didn't believe it at the time though. Unlike most people, everybody looked at that January and they were like, "Oh, we could do this for the rest of the year," and I'm like, I thought, you know what? I kind of took it as, we got new players and everybody was on their best behavior.
Really?
At the time, that's how I took it. I was like,
what about this team with new players? Do you expect everybody to be on their best behavior? We have new players now.
Okay, you know how when you make a trade, everybody's passing the ball, everybody's being nice. I was kind of surprised that it carried on because I was like, hey, they just doing this, get everybody acclimated. Nobody wants to hog the ball, but they're gonna get into their game. But it actually kind of carried for the rest of the year, and I really didn't expect it.
You mean in real time you didn't expect it, but
In real time, I didn't expect it. In real time, I really didn't.
But when you look back on it, you're like, yeah, okay, well,
But
maybe there's something there.
Because it like flipped a switch. It was a different game. But it was like, because up to that point, like, Knicks offense was bad. Like, I thought, I thought maybe it was just everybody getting acclimated. So, they're passing the ball because everybody's getting acclimated, and the offense is going to gum up again. Like, our offense was never smooth before that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Because from a basketball perspective, I honestly think the team was oddly built.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Oddly built where you have three young guys trying to establish themselves, and Grimes quickly and RJ
Mm-hmm.
trying to establish themselves in the league. Deuce McBride really, really, really deserved minutes. Right. And Mitchell Robinson, salute. IKBM Dre is in the building, salute. And so you got Mitchell Robinson, who was hurt and was a odd fit in the offense. But once you eliminated question marks, right? When guys were just not worried about who they are, guys were established, right? When you move RJ and quickly, young players who at some point are going to become stars in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those two, we know they're good players, right? But like AD mentioned, the timeline may not have been the fit for them, right? So Brunson's ready to win, Randall's ready to win, guys, Hartenstein's ready to win. Guys are legit. Don't care nothing about what move you worked on in the offseason. They didn't care. All they cared about was winning. The scoreboard is what mattered. But then you can have guys that are like last year we played without Obi, right? But the year before that we were like, yo, all Obi needs to do was work on such and such and such. None of those questions were around the Knicks last year. The questions around the Knicks were, if this team is healthy, can we knock somebody off in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
That was the question. And I think that's the question this year. The question this year is if this team is healthy, how far can they go? Right? The question is not about who's going to get the bag this summer, who's not going to get the bag this summer. Is such and such blocked at his position? All those questions are gone. Right? Yeah, so all those questions are gone. I think right now, for the most part, and I heard a lot of you guys, I heard a lot of the Knicks content creators basically speak to this. How good is this team really? How far can they really go? That's basically the question that I've been hearing from a lot of the Knicks content creators. And I honestly feel like it's a legitimate question. It's legitimate. Mm-hmm. How far can they go?
All the way.
Yeah.
All the way.
Yeah.
But but like I said before, I'm sorry, Chris. Like I said before, it's gonna take them getting to that place. You know what I mean? Them getting to that place. Remember when Allen Houston finally got to that place against Indiana in Game 6? They couldn't do nothing with him.
Yeah.
It was like his Neo moment when he's plucking the bullets out of the air and he's dropping them. They put this one on him. They put Rose on him. Couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
When Van Gundy put him in that ISO on the left side, something to see. They were undermanned, right? Larry Johnson is hurt. Yep. Ewing is already done.
Yep.
Chris Dudley's looking like he's giving
like he's 52 years old.
He's 52 years old.
Yeah.
Camby arrived, but in that moment,
out of shape. Camby out of shape.
But in that Game 6 moment when the finals was right there, Allen Houston has his best time. At some point in time, it just has to connect, and it can connect for this team.
Yeah, Andy, you know what we used to call that moment, Fritz? I don't know if Fritz is everybody. So Fritz is not from the same generation as us. I think Fritz is like 27.
That's a lie. Fritz like 45, man. Fritz, get out of here.
I'm 44. I'm 44.
I knew it, man. Get out of here.
Hey, Fritz, you probably 44 in the waist. 44 in the waist, but AD, if you remember this moment before the Neo moment from the Matrix, there was a moment from where you mentioned, like I think you referenced it, where everything comes together and you're the best version of yourself, where your kinetics, your potential, the moment, everything arrives at the same time, and you become the best version of yourself. Hey, do you remember this movie called The Last Dragon?
Yes.
You remember when
Show enough.
when the Last Dragon got the glow?
Who's the baddest?
Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, you remember that?
Who's the meanest?
Yeah.
That was the movie.
Yeah. When he got the glow, right?
His glow was different. His glow was like bright pink. His glow was different.
Yeah.
His glow was different. When he hit Bruce Lee, he just heard boom, bang, bam,
Yeah.
I mean, he really should have won that fight. He really should have won that fight against Bruce Lee.
Yeah. You remember when Shonuff was dunking him in the thing, and the girl was like, "Stop, you're gonna kill him." Remember that? And then he stopped.
Who's the master?
He looked at Shonuff like, and Shonuff couldn't do nothing with him after that. And then Shonuff backed up.
That was it.
He was in that moment where he had to glow, and then he started doing this stuff, and you see all the, you know what I'm saying? I think that's that Allen Houston moment that you're talking about, right?
Never was that good again.
Yeah. And I think there is a Nick destined to be that guy this season, to have that glow moment, that the Last Dragon moment, right? And I think we're poised to have that guy. I do believe in my heart that it's Jalen Brunson, right? I think it's Jalen Brunson, and it's no slight to Randall, because I think Randall is still an all-star. I think Randall is still all NBA, and no slight to OG Anunoby, who's the highest paid Nick at the moment, right? No slight on Mikal Bridges, who in theory is the most valuable Nick right now. Like legit, when Jalen Brunson hit free agency, it was maybe 4 suitors for him. Dallas, Orlando, Chicago, and New York were the only suitors for him, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So, but Mikal Bridges legit got traded in his division to a cross-time rival, and I think there was, Fritz, was it like seven entities exchanged for him, basically, like a player, like 6 picks and some other stuff.
At least 7.
Yeah,
a bucket of fries, side of onion rings.
Yeah.
They gave everything for Jalen. They gave everything for Bridges.
They gave up everything. So Bridges may be the most valued player now based on what it costs to get him. Dre, what's good, bro?
Hey, salute Freezy, salute Fritz, salute AD, salute to the chat.
Salute.
I didn't want to cut you off, but Freezy, it sounded like we got honestly, it sounded like we got 4 MVPs, but in different definitions.
I think that may be what it. I think that may be ultimately what we're looking at. Like I think we have 2 players that, if they stay healthy in a Tom Thibodeau defense, I think they may be some level of all NBA defense. I don't know if it's going to be Josh Hart, Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby, Deuce McBride, or Mikal Bridges, but I think 2 players out of that group will get very strong if everybody's healthy all season. I think they'll get very strong defensive award consideration.
I think, Freezy, there are so many good defensive players, they'll cannibalize themselves within the awards if we're keeping it real. Like, if Mitch, this is a hope. This is a very large amount of hopium that I'm throwing out there. But but if Mitch comes out and plays like he did the first 20-ish games of last season for 65 games, he's deserving. If OG plays the way we know he's capable, he's deserving for those types of
stays
votes.
healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, if McCall has already finished second in all NBA defense, so
Yeah.
he would be in that rank. So it's one of those things where, unfortunately, like when you have a dominant team or guys that are dominant at a particular thing, they cannibalize their votes. It's the reason why KD and Curry didn't get MVP, even though they were literally the two best players in the
The
league at
two
the
best
time.
players in the league. Yeah.
Like the votes will cannibalize themselves, and if you're like looking at how voters might look at it, they'll be like, well, OG might deserve it, he's the linchpin. No, they'll be like, oh well, Mitch is the guy that takes care of everything within the lane. Then they'll be like, well, Mikal Bridges takes care of the point of attack for elite players night in and night out. That's how it'll be viewed, and it's a good problem to have. And the other thing that I wanted to circle back on, like in terms of like who's viewed as the most valuable player, like we all think that Jalen Brunson is the best player on the team. In terms of value, I guess best player is like value, the word value has a different definition. If we're talking about who we gave up the most to obtain, it's McCall. If
Right.
we're talking about who we pay the most money in
Right.
Knicks history, it's OG.
It's OG. Yeah.
If we talk about the guy that makes the levees break defensively for teams, it's Randall.
Right.
So it's one of those things where like it doesn't matter who you're like you can't really compare us to like the Celtics because on any given night it's either Jalen Brown or Tatum. But in reality, I think Tatum is the best player on the team, even though Jalen Brown won the award.
Right.
I think everything revolves around Tatum. On any given night, like the most impactful player in the Knicks could be one of four players on any given night. Whereas on the Celtics, the most impactful player is like usually Jason Tatum because it's how it's like the team is built around him for the most part. Him and Jalen Brown is one of
And their third and fourth most impactful players are generally the same two guys. It's not
yeah
going to rotate.
yeah
Right. Derek White is going to be the third most impactful, and Drew Holiday is going to be the fourth most impactful player every night, and that's the way they want it.
yeah.
Right.
Whereas
That's the way they want it. Yeah.
whereas us, it might be a Brunson thing, but when Randall comes back, he's not going to be on ball nearly as much as he was forced to,
Right.
and that will be to our benefit. We get to unlock the part of his game that's completely underrated and people don't see. Like people keep throwing this thing. Like I don't know if you've seen this on Twitter, Freezy, but like people be like, they would like a Celtics fan would pose, would you trade Drew Holiday for Brunson? And Celtics fans are talking about they'd keep Drew Holiday,
Yeah. Of course they would.
Mhm.
and it's just like yo, like people think Jalen Brunson has no means to pivot away from being ball dominant. Of course, when he's at his best or at his peak, he has the ball in his hands, but he's played around ball dominant superstars before and has been effective before and has been a key cog in them making it to a conference finals. Like, we're not about to act like Luka is not the most ball dominant player we've ever seen, probably ever.
Yeah. Luka's going to be the GOAT, bro.
I'm not going, I can't, well, maybe go offensive player.
But to your point though, I just want to stick to the Jalen Brunson thing
Yeah.
and Boston thing just real quick. Just really quick. Fritz, I think the reason why the Jalen Brunson is not there yet narrative is because of multiple things, right? First, I think the Team USA thing when they lost and Josh Hart started over very valuable NBA players and they lost.
Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I think that's a real thing, bro. Paolo Banchero, I think that's a real thing. I think
The
that
narrative.
I think that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way when Josh Hart is starting over Paolo Banchero. That's a real disrespectful thing.
They took
Right?
Brandon Ingram completely out of the rotation.
Yep.
They didn't even play him after like the preliminaries.
Yep. And the other thing, the second thing is NBA fans in general have this thing where they want to see a star climb the mountain before he gets to the mountaintop, before they say he's at the top.
Yeah.
Right? They want to see a star get his heart broken numerous years in a row so that he can cry when he holds the trophy finally. The people want to see that. And the third thing I think is people flat out just dislike the Knicks. Period. Right? Like I know every franchise that I took, every content creator that I talk to on different teams, and it's not a lot of them. I'm probably in a rotation with about 13 or 14 content creators from other teams, where they text me or I hit them up randomly or whatever. All 13 or 14 of those content creators have the same mantra. We're the underdog. People keep disrespecting us. They don't respect us. Everybody, the Celtics guys, they think that how are we the champs? And people are saying we can't repeat. That's their thing right now.
Or that narrative is definitely that for Tatum, especially after the Olympics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not to cut you off, Rizzy, it's gonna be like one of those things where either he steps up, like you remember when Curry didn't win Finals MVP and he just went in an onslaught on the league.
Yep.
Either he steps up to that level, or he folds. I don't think there's anywhere in between. Like
Fold.
Well, when I say fold, I think he'll never elevate to that top 5 realm. If he doesn't, like he'll just relegate himself to like lower back half top 10 or top 15.
Hold on a second. When you're the best player on the best team for the entire season, and you got a resume that he has, how is he not top 5? Right now,
you talking about Brunson or Randall or Tatum?
I'm talking about Tatum.
Is he better than Giannis?
Right now, yes.
I think he's better than Giannis.
Yes.
No.
Right now, yes.
No.
Giannis is injury prone. Giannis has been injury prone for the last 3 years.
Is he
right
better
now,
in the game of basketball? Not
yes. Yes. No. Giannis can't shoot threes.
No.
In today's game, you got to be able to shoot 3.
Hold on, AD. Giannis is the first player to ever average 30 on 60% shooting. And you talking to me about Jason Tatum?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if you swap Jason Tatum for Giannis right now with those shooters and that spacing big, they win a championship too. And Giannis is the Finals MVP, unquestioned, with all that spacing. We already saw what he looked like with.
But you're belittling Tatum. Since Tatum has been in this league, day one, the Celtics has known nothing but success.
And they've built
Giannis can't say that.
Around him. They've built really, really good
Milwaukee teams. Has built good teams around Giannis.
Right.
It took him a minute. I mean, yes, he's back to back. I'm not taking anything away from Giannis.
I'm taking something from him.
I mean, but come on now. Like this Tatum disrespect has got to stop.
And
he ain't top 5 to me, man.
And
you're not naming 5 better. You're not naming another 5 better players right now to Tatum. You can't go. Giannis is not healthy.
Yeah, but the Giannis glorification, I think we need to. And I'm not saying that Dre is guilty, but I'm saying this in general. I think the Giannis glorification is absurdly ridiculous. Like the dude legit shoots 11 free throws a game. You can't touch him.
But
you can't.
But he does
him.
a couple things, but he does those couple things so well. Like he just
Giannis is amazing. Not taking anything away from Giannis. Giannis is amazing.
What if Anthony Edwards got the Giannis whistle?
He hasn't earned it.
But that's the thing.
Even if he got the Giannis whistle, he's not as efficient as Giannis.
No, and he's not as efficient.
No, but Dre, what I'm saying is the efficiency is a byproduct of the whistle, right? And I know it seems backwards, right? But what I'm saying is, dudes are less likely to smother you if they know you can't breathe. It's the reason why. It's one of the reasons why when we talk about Olajuwon, David Robinson, Shaq, and Pat Ewing, we put Olajuwon over every. Olajuwon legit got the whistle, right? Yeah. The whistle was on the bottom of his feet, bro. Every time he moved, he got the whistle. right? But then you have David Robinson, who never got the whistle, Pat Ewing, who got the whistle in stretches, and Shaq, who legit got fouled 30 times a game. If they blew the whistle every time Shaq got fouled, bro, Shaq would average 50 a game. It's the same. It's the thing with Giannis. When you watch Jalen. So you just give an example for what Fritz said earlier, right? Fritz, you remember when we was talking about Jalen Brunson getting respect from the referees? Remember when you mentioned that?
Yeah.
Right. How Jalen Brunson legit has to sell calls in order to get the whistle, and sometimes they don't blow the whistle, and they'll point out, "Yeah, you flop right there." They'll say that to Brunson. Nah, dog, you flop right there, because they'll throw his head back and all that just to get the whistle. He has to do all of that and still shoots free throws half the rate of Giannis. And Giannis doesn't even flop none of that stuff. Giannis goes to the rim and he'll stop the game and walk to the free throw line. They'll blow the whistle for Giannis because he walked over there.
Well, but Freezy, what if I told you Giannis takes the overwhelming most amount of shots in the paint, like by a wide margin, and that's where you draw fouls in the first place? Okay. He is so physically imposing to his average matchup. He's at the rim every game.
Right.
What do you want him to do? Not shoot free throws? Like if you're literally living in the paint the entire time, and we're not talking about shooting floaters or creating space to shoot mid-range jumpers. This man is bringing pressure to two players to the point they have no choice but to foul, or you put the onus on the refs at that point.
I saw Julius Randle go to the rim and get elbowed in the eye socket by Bam Adebayo and fell to the floor, and they didn't blow the whistle.
Well, Julius Randle doesn't play above the rim. Giannis does.
So it's above the rim. It's not in the paint.
No. When you play above the rim, it unfortunately.
AD, see what I'm talking about? See how
unfortunately, when you play above the rim, foul calls look even worse. That's just
but here what it is, Dre. It's not always above the rim for Giannis. It's kind of like with Wemby now. It's about extension. So he puts the pressure on you because he's always extending. He's not always jumping over you like 5-6 years ago, but he's always extending. His steps are longer, wider, stronger. He's always. So I get it. I'm not taking anything
through guys. So you can't even see everything.
And then Randle fades. Randle fades to his left. So when you're fading to your left, you're shying away from outside of last year, excluding generally a fade to the left. But to this point here, this is just utter disrespect for Tatum here, man. I just don't understand this. This is bananas.
I think he's top 6. I don't think he's the MVP. Like he's won 80. There's a reason he's won every year, and he's never actually
he's good.
Considered. He's never actually been considered for MVP.
Hold on. Now we're moving the goalpost. No one cares about it. It's like a Grammy. No one cares about an MVP. The only person who cares about an MVP is the person who wins because it's tied to some kind of financial benefit. Yeah. But the MVP does not mean that you are the best. Does not necessarily mean that you're the best player in the league. Man, you might have the best year.
No, I'm only the best player in the league. But I'm only speaking within the dynamics of a guy being viewed as dominant or a high-level player. Ain't nobody like. Does Jason Tatum scare you?
Yes.
Over Giannis in the series?
Yes. Today, yes.
That's crazy.
The reigning defending champion. What are we talking about here? Does it not mean anything? Does the belt not mean anything?
Even if you won't admit it, winning Finals MVP stirs a lot of narratives, and even guys like Steph Curry had to fight through that. Tatum's gonna have to fight through that too.
Yeah.
And Stephen Curry has an MVP of the entire league.
He has a unanimous MVP, first one ever.
And Steph Curry had to go through that. So why wouldn't Tatum go through that?
But he's been going through it. This narrative didn't just start this past year. This narrative, I remember like a couple of years ago when him and Udoka in the finals, and it was a fair criticism. His ball handling was horrible. turn the ball over. I'm like, hey, he still got the team to the finals.
Bro, and what do we expect from dude 6'10", bro? I mean, legit, we gotta relax, bro.
Gotta
I
relax.
mean, hey, he's 6'10". That's why they got him a center that literally stretches the court to 26 feet. So all he has to focus on is having enough handle to beat one guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
what are we
once
I mean, you damn near trade everybody on this team for that man. Outside of Brunson, there's nobody else on the Knicks. There's no other Knick that's better than
of
Tatum.
course he's a top 10 player.
right?
We gotta relax, man. I'm like, I almost feel like I want to, like I'm Celtic, like I want to defend this. I'm like, yo, this dude is
Like,
great.
I think he's a top 10 player, but he ain't no Luka. He ain't no Jokic. He ain't no Giannis to me personally.
Yeah, Giannis is overrated, bro.
And
That's
look,
four.
this might
That's
be a
four.
rock and freezy shoe. I think Shea's better than him.
Who?
Shea Gilgeous Alexander. And they didn't lose their series because of him, by the way.
Has Shea gotten out of the second round?
Hey, Fritz, you know what
Has
this?
Shea gotten out of the first round?
Bro, you know what this
You gonna
sounds
see it
like?
this year.
And no disrespect to Dre, but it sounds like an inherent bias. It sounds like if you're a non-American international player, you're just better than the American player. That's what it, and not on the surface level. I'm not saying on this. I'm not saying that Dre is saying, nah, if he's international, I don't want him. I don't think that's what he's saying, right? But I noticed that when it comes to the best players in the league, it's like a lean towards non-American international players. Even if they have,
did that.
But Freezy, I think Brunson had a better year than him last year, and I think Steph is better than him. Now what?
Then Tatum?
Yes. I saw it 22. You saw it too in 4K.
Yeah, I think we
You saw 2022 in 4K. You saw what he did in game.
Are you taking Steph over Tatum today?
I'm not taking Steph over Brunson.
Steph is 36, man.
Right now.
I'm not doing that. There's no way.
No, I'm not taking Brunson.
But that's an age question. If
that's an age question. You're
talking
straight.
Straight impact.
Me?
He's better. Straight impact.
You say straight impact that Curry is better?
Yes.
Nah, not today. Not today. It don't have nothing to do with age, bro. It just what other players like today? Right? I'm not comparing Brunson today to Curry, of 7 years ago. Nah. I'm saying today, I'm not taking Giannis over Brunson. If Milwaukee called me right now and offered me Giannis for Brunson right now, I'm slamming the phone. Yeah. Right? I'm putting it in the trash can and
I ain't gonna slam it.
I'm gonna burn the ashes, right? I'm gonna throw the ashes out the window, go outside and sweep them up and put them on a rocket and send them into deep space. I'm not doing Giannis for Jalen Brunson. Right? Because
it would be hustling, like you wouldn't be going anywhere different. It's a lateral move.
I just don't think Giannis is as good as Brunson right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but AD can speak to this, bro. AD, you remember when we used to watch the decline of aging superstars, but we didn't know they were in decline?
Yes.
We just see you remember when the referee used to walk by Dr. J in like 84, 85 and the ref would blow the whistle? And you're like, dang, he barely touched him. Right?
How does someone decline with 30 points per game? Explain.
I just explained it, bro. I just explained it.
I'm not doing this.
I don't think Giannis is in decline necessarily, but he's
just the injury. If the injury, bad timing.
Now it's injury prone.
But Giannis, okay, so I think y'all are not getting, like, maybe I didn't say it in a way that
decline, bro. He had his best offensive season, period.
He led the NBA in free throws.
He's not growing.
And he had the highest field goal percentage for a 30-point per game guy ever, period, ever in NBA history. Free throws, you be damned. We're talking about 70 years of history.
He averaged 30 points a game, right, on 18.9 shots. Do you know how efficient that is? 18 points. So basically 19 shots a game, he averaged 30 points a game. Do you know how
shot
efficient you have to be?
60% from the field. He's not even a good free throw shooter. He should have
That's
averaged more.
that's the point.
But when you shoot 60% overall, this is what happens. You remember when Braun was in Miami shooting damn near 60%?
Because nobody will touch, bro. You can't touch Giannis. It's like when we watched Pat Ewing and Olajuwon. One dude rarely gets the whistle, and the other dude has the whistle tattooed to him.
Yeah, but he earned that, Freezy.
When you scratching
Giannis earned that.
AD, I'm not disputing that. I'm saying it is what it is. I'm not disputing that.
But the one thing with Giannis, though, Freezy, to be fair, is he's going to make you make a decision. And that's the player guarding him and the closest referee who's watching him.
Right.
It's going to make you make a decision.
AD, what I'm saying is he's not going to make the player make a decision. The referee is. For instance, when you watch others play the Giannis style, how many times have you seen Julius Randle get an offensive foul charge going to the rim?
Hey, Freezy, if you want to compare guys, Embiid gets a better.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Embiid gets a better whistle than Giannis.
Giannis does not do foul baiting. Giannis makes the ref call something. Embiid will literally flop into everything.
And he's shooting 90%.
I was with you. As soon as you brought up Embiid, I was there with you until you said Giannis doesn't foul bait.
If he does foul bait, it ain't egregious like Embiid.
Yeah,
it's not like Embiid. That's just a different ballgame.
Some dudes just the thing I guess the point that I'm getting to, and I think y'all agree with me, but I don't think y'all want me to be right though. Right, and I don't care about being right. I just care about the conversation.
But Freezy, how does a man that shoots that many jumpers get to the line as much compared to Giannis, who shoots 0 jumpers?
I'm sorry, who you mean Embiid?
Embiid takes like 8.
But hey, I agree with you on Embiid. I'm not.
That man be out here twerking like Sexy Red for foul calls.
Right, I agree with you, bro. We don't disagree. What my point of contention with the comparison was Giannis doesn't foul bait, and Giannis doesn't cry for the call.
He may foul bait. But it's not nearly to the egregiousness that
we agree. Absolutely, we agree. No lies detected, bro.
There's nothing wrong with foul baiting.
Right, Cats made a living. Adrian Dantley is in the Hall of Fame for foul baiting, bro.
I mean,
Harden was foul baiting.
Yeah,
seriously, they're the ones who Harden was the one who kind of made the league take a look at the all right, some of this stuff here. You literally just throwing into guy the rip through the Amari rip through.
Oh my God!
Jesus!
We see Brunson get an and one every game off that rip through at least once.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's a difference between getting 1 a game and getting 5 of those a game. The commentary is centered around it. That's the difference.
If it's your team, you happy. That's facts. If it's your team in the close moment, yeah, you're getting that rip through. You're getting that him coming off the curl at the 15-foot at the foul line and stopping short, and the guy runs in it. Which he's a master at that. The Chauncey Billups slow down, catch it on the back on the shoulder. Yeah. If it's your team, Freezy, you happy with it?
Yeah.
And if it's not, you pissed.
They be calling him Giannis attempt the free throw. So.
Yeah, Giannis attempt the free throw. That's hilarious.
And then he goes up there and takes 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking. I mean, come on. I could never knock Giannis,
but here's also the thing. Like even if they do call a foul or don't call a foul, he still finishes. So it's like one of those things where, like, yes, he might force the refs to call something, but that man be going through contact regardless of what's going on.
Right.
Because he doesn't take his eye off the rim.
He plays with a high motor. So, like, he plays at the same amount of force at all times. Unfortunately, that gets him hurt because there's no off switch. There's no pivot for him. Like, Embiid has a lot more tools in his bag to go to. Like, Embiid gave us 50 points off of just jump shots.
Right.
Yeah, but that style is not going to get you. That style is not going to get you to the promised land.
No. Well, getting to the promised land, you need to have something in your bag that's just unstoppable, and you just got to live with it.
Yeah, jump shooting bigs though historically, jump shooting bigs in NBA championships. You're like you got to be super duper 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 duper
Would you
special.
call Hakeem a jump shooting big?
No.
Yes, I would.
It was in his bag, but
No,
it's not. It's in his bag. Don't get me wrong, but his bag is crazy.
and when I think jump shooting, though, I don't always think 3-pointers. I think
Like
anything.
mid-range.
Yeah, I think anything from about 7 to 8 feet away is like a jump shot in my mind. You know what I'm saying?
There's only been a few like jump shooting bigs that won the whole thing. Like Dirk is one
Yeah,
as the best player anyway.
yeah. And no disrespect to the people that like Olajuwon, but I watched the game, bro. I remember guys that had to whistle. I remember watching Adrian Dantley hold the ball and pump fake for 10 seconds until a quick twitch guy jumped and he just jumped into him. That was offense. Back in the day, that used to be offense. AD remember that. AD don't remember Adrian Dantley having a skill set. He just remember Adrian Dantley being strong like Josh Hart, like a 6'5" guy, being super duper strong for his height, that could catch it and post up anybody of any size and pump fake them until they jumped, and then he would get the foul call. That's Adrian Dantley. Nobody remembers the Adrian
talking
Dantley
about?
crossover.
Hold on, AD, you gotta mute that, man. God,
What AD doing? He popping popcorn or something?
that man cooking. That man turned on the burner and everything.
That man doing Jiffy Pop?
You got filet mignon getting ready over there.
Why?
Medium rare.
Medium rare, bro. Medium rare. I'm
But
gonna do the super chat just real quick. Justo11, thank you for the generous contribution. He says we'll be the first team to have 2 guys all NBA and all defense. I watched Tatum chase Finals MVP in Game 6, shooting sub 30% from 3. Luka, KD, Bron, Jokic, Giannis, and Boston win more in Tatum's spot. So he thinks all those dudes are better than Tatum. Also,
I feel like Freezy, if you put generic superstar top 10 player in Tatum's position around the best 3-and-D point guard wing combination in the league, and Drew and Derek White with the best stretch big with also a slasher, scorer, also an elite mid-range shooter, and Jaylen Brown.
right?
Like if you threw Kevin Durant in Tatum's shoes, you're not thinking they win a championship?
No,
That's crazy.
no.
I don't know.
But that's KD.
But we don't consider KD
Yeah,
top
that's
5 anymore.
Hey,
Who
let me
doesn't?
Fritz, you don't think so either, right?
Who doesn't?
Okay,
Well, okay,
with Tatum,
maybe.
he's either hot or he's cold. Like, I don't know. It's
If
like
you notice,
it looks like two different
when
guys.
the
It looks like two
when
different
the-
guys sometimes.
if you, I'm sorry, Fritz. If you notice, when the 2 old boys in the Olympics, when they put the select there and drive, that's when the team moved.
Yeah.
Well,
Like I'm literally watching KD giving Edwards shooting tips.
so you think KD is better than Jason Tatum? Yes or no?
No.
Not today. Not today. No.
But Dre,
If you drop them on that team, they don't win a championship.
But Dre, let me support my answer though. I want to support my answer
go ahead,
because you asked me if you swap KD and Tatum, right? But I watched KD on 2 more talented teams not win championships. I watched the James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Brooklyn Nets, and they didn't win. And I watched the Devin Booker and all them guys, Phoenix Suns, and KD didn't win, bro. What I'm saying is to be a championship guy, bro. I think Tatum just proved to y'all that he's capable of winning a championship.
I think a lot of guys are capable of winning.
A lot of guys are not capable of winning a championship.
No.
Not leading a
Top
championship.
10 guys. That is top 10.
I think what we're confusing is the top 10 qualifier, because if we're talking about top 10 scorers, then no, all them do is not winning championships. But if you're talking about the top 10 best overall players in the NBA, like think about it, is Steph Curry a top 10 all-around player in the NBA right now?
No, all around.
Is Jalen Brunson a top 10? Is Jalen Brunson a top 10 all-around NBA player right now?
No, but that's not how impact is equated. Like all around. If we're talking just all around, then like there's guys in the league that are all around better, but aren't more impactful.
Like Tatum.
Yeah, but
right.
I'll give you this, Freezy. If you remove Tatum and put Randall at the 4 for them, do they go to a finals? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh Jesus.
Absolutely.
But how is Randall? Okay, I'm not.
Jesus.
Absolutely. It's
you just out here swapping. You're just swapping out names.
Is Randall considered a top 10 player, Freezy? Yes or no?
No. Randall's not a top 10. Randall is probably barely top 25. Right? He is top 25 because he's made the All-Star team consecutive years, bro. Randall is a top 25 player.
So you're saying there's a lot of guys in the league that could win a championship with what Jason Tatum.
That's not what you asked me. You asked me if you swap up him and Randall, do they make the finals?
Do they win a championship with Randall at the 4?
Huh?
Do they win a championship with Randall at the 4 over Tatum?
No.
Where does Tatum go?
I said if Tatum plays the 4 for them.
If you swap them out, right? If you swap out Tatum and Randall, I think the Celtics can't beat the Knicks with Jason Tatum on the Knicks.
Can't or cannot?
They can't be. I don't think that's
cannot.
That Celtics team with
Randall
cannot beat the Knicks with Jason Tatum on the Knicks. Because you said swap. You said swap out.
You put Jason Tatum instead of Julius Randle right now. I go bet my house on the championship.
Right. That's the reason why I clarified.
I think Jason Tatum is better than Julius Randle. So
right, yeah,
this roster.
Yeah, that's easy basketball analysis. That's a layup, right? And it's no disrespect to Randall or to Tatum, because no matter what you do, somebody eventually is going to be better than you, right? No matter what it is you do, somebody eventually is going to be. Ask Muhammad Ali. He called himself the greatest, and he took some of the worst losses you ever saw in your life.
Oh Jesus!
Right?
Here we go with the cheap shots.
Right? I mean, as Julio Cesar Chavez, Chavez robbed 3 different dudes. The referee gave Chavez like 3 different. If you saw the Meldrick Taylor fight.
Must we go through this again, Freezy? Must we go through this again with your nonsense?
I'm just saying. I'm just using that as a comparison. Yeah, I'm just saying. No matter how great, bro, I call myself the #1 Chief Rocker, bro. I call myself the #1 Chief Rocker because I think I'm the best Knicks content creator in Knicks universe when it comes to driving conversation and asking the right questions to keep the conversation going. Just like the Chief Rocker at your party knows exactly what song to play to keep the party going. I take pride in that, right? Because I'll set ego aside. I will tell you that you're right, and I will ask you to keep building on the point that you're making, setting my stuff aside, because people may want to hear what Fritz has to say. People may want to hear what Dre has to say in this thing, and we should stay in that vein, right? But even I know at some point somebody will be better than me. Right, and it's the same thing with Randall. Randall's an all-star, all-NBA. If he's not the best power forward in the NBA, so what? If he makes the all-star team 1 more or 2 more times, if he makes all-NBA 2 or 3 more times, his career will be compared to Chris Webber. And Chris Webber started making an all-star team later on. Or I'm sorry, Webber made the all-star team early on and faded as he got older. Randall right now in his age 30, he's 29 right now, but he's going into his age 30 season. But Randall in his age 30 season is looking like, barring injury, that the arrow is pointing up for him. That's what it looks like. And it may not be the case. It may just be me being a Randall fan. But if you're asking, if you swap Tatum and Randall, if Tatum comes to the Knicks and Randall goes to the Celtics, I don't think that Celtics team can beat this Knicks team with Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Jason Tatum. Is that a fair answer, Dre?
I don't think any team in the league would beat that.
Right. But I say that because you said swapped out.
Yeah, but I didn't mean it that way. I meant like, yeah, because we have.
Oh, you mean that if you Thanos snap Tatum and refill the spot with Randall, would they win a championship? If you did the Thanos thing and Tatum is gone.
Tatum doesn't exist in this realm anymore.
Yeah,
and he's because we know I'm not saying Tatum is not an elite basketball player. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's just not in that top.
No, we're comparing the best to the best.
Tier. Yeah.
So full disclosure. So just for the disclaimer, we're talking about the best of the best. We're talking about the top 25 NBA players. We're not out here talking about if you swap him for Nas Reed. No, man, we ain't talking about that.
No.
Six conference finals, 2 championship appearances, 1 championship to the resume. He's not even what is he, 27? What is he, 27? Oh my God. Right. Who's got you talking about rare people in the NBA right now got those kind of numbers. You're talking about LeBron, Steph,
AD. If the Knicks cared to build a roster around Patrick Ewing that much, like the Celtics better build around Tatum, Pat would be viewed as a top 5 player ever to ever play. If they cared that much to build around cohesive units around him, as much as the Celtics built around Tatum.
Well, that could be seen
every
as
superstar is afforded like the perfect skill set and role players year over year.
You're right. But here's
look
the
at
thing.
those rosters around him. But
here's the thing.
Teams are great teams without him.
Yeah, but
No.
Great
I mean great teams for a star to be inserted into.
Hold on, it's not his fault that it's not his fault that Boston knew what the hell to do.
I'm not saying it's his fault.
I'm saying, but he's carried it.
He's falsely being compared to teams that have flawed rosters and superstars have to overcome it.
Let me ask you this.
He's not Luka.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's go to New Orleans. You put Tatum on New Orleans and you take their 3 and their 4 and put in there. Is Boston that good? And I'm not talking about Zion, the other forward. You put him there.
Who's their 4? Brandon Ingram?
Yeah, you put Brandon Ingram over Boston and put Tatum on under. But I'm flopping Ingram for Tatum.
Wing for wing.
Wing for wing.
I think they get to a finals. I don't know if they win it though.
Oh dear God. What? Brandon Ingram and Tatum they're not even in the same stratosphere. They're not even in the same stratosphere.
You don't
now
need,
you calling it a team situation.
No. You don't even need someone in Tatum's stratosphere to win a championship with that supporting cast. Is my point.
I don't know.
You don't need a top 5 player to win a championship in that role. Because for damn sure Tatum didn't play like a top 5 player in the whole playoffs. Point blank period. And they still won a championship. Handedly.
Right.
Unless you think Tatum played like a top 5 player, then I don't know what to say.
But he been a top 5 player the whole year.
Well, in the postseason, he did not play like a top 5 player. Now, if you say the whole year, then you can't diminish Giannis for averaging 30 on 60%. Then, if it's a regular season thing.
But I did not. I'm never sitting here taking anything away from Giannis.
I am.
But you're here. It's like there's like cats. When we talk about the best players in the game, here's another name that we never talking about: Jamal Murray.
Who?
Jamal Murray.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Murray with Denver.
Oh, Jamal Murray. Okay.
Right here, you have one of the absolute stone cold killers. We never talk about him. How good he is in the game. Why is that?
Because he has a level of Nick Van Exel without the flash to him. But he's got Yeah, he's got an element of showing up at the right time all the time.
He's very
All
good.
the time.
He's very good, but I'll give you something. His team always loses the minutes when Jokic is not on the court. And it's just him. When it's just him, he's not carrying that unit. Like they
Yeah.
struggle when it's just him. And that puts him in that he's not in that top 15 echelon. He's not to me, he's not even a top 20 player. He's not
A
even a
top,
top 20
I'm
player.
sorry, a top what player?
20 player.
Oh,
Like
okay, okay.
How good
he's
were they without him for the 2 years when he was gone?
he is extremely synergistic with one of the greatest big men of all time.
I asked a simple question. How good were they without him when he was gone for 2 years?
They lost in the second round.
Yeah, they were not that.
And they
And
were
when he
getting and those rosters were flawed.
and when he came back,
They won a
NBA champ.
championship and then
Yeah.
they lost the next year in the second round.
Yeah.
Because Jamal Murray didn't play well. That's why they lost.
they made go as Joker go, but Joker ain't win no title without that dude.
No.
You remember
And,
that?
and of course
He
not.
was winning no title without that guy. That
They don't even
nightmare
make-
maker.
They don't even make a playoff if Jokic is not on that team though. They are, matter of fact, I'll say right now, they're a lottery team without Jokic. Bottom of the barrel, bottom top 10 team. They might be pushing up on a top 5 in the lottery without that man. Go ahead, look at that roster without Jokic. He's the key that makes everything. He unlocks everything on that team because that roster construction is mid. And they got rid of KCP. All right, man.
No, I got you. I'm inclined to agree.
Like you understand how Jokic. Matter of fact, Jokic would make a lot of guards look crazy next to him with his gravity. Hey, AD, imagine you put Brunson next to Jokic, and
No,
he's getting all, and he's
no, we're not
getting
even
no
having
hits.
that. You're not gonna get me excited for no apparent reason. You're not gonna do that to
I'm saying
me.
if he's getting
You're
those
not
hits
do that
compared to
to me,
Jamal
buddy.
Murray, I'm just saying. Like matter of fact, put De'Aaron Fox next to Jokic. What do you think is going to happen?
He's a different type.
Hey man, he's making it work with a bootleg version of Jokic.
Yeah, but the thing is though, Dre.
Is it really working though?
Oh, I mean they made the playoffs a couple times.
Yeah. Now, I understand where you're going with it. Yeah,
But
I think the perfect player to go with the Jokic, if we lived in a bizarre parallel universe, would be Steph Curry.
oh yeah.
Yeah, in a bizarre parallel universe, if you could get Steph Curry and Jokic at the same age, they'd win the next 8 championships and rotate winning MVP.
Yeah.
And in my opinion.
It's just like that 2 man. Like I know, AD, you saw the Olympics. When Jamal Murray ain't got that Jokic 2 man, it's real pedestrian out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
real pedestrian.
Look who his two. Yeah, but look who his 2 man is. Look who his 2 man is. His 2 man is Joker.
But I'm saying even when, like, I'll put it this way: when Jokic is off the court and it's Jamal Murray and it's a Jamal Murray focused offense, they lose those minutes every single time.
But every team loses that. You can't replace Joker. There is no replacement for Joker. You just hope and pray that the guy that comes in gives you 5 reasonable minutes at a time. And you only and at best you taking what? How many minutes does Joker average a game? 36?
But there's a difference between just playing playing to the level, not losing the minutes. They just outright lose the minutes. They don't even stand. Like Jokic is so dominant, and he wins all his minutes by such a wide margin that it's okay that they lose those 15 minutes every game that he doesn't play by a wide margin. They lose those minutes by a ton.
Yeah, because they can't afford for a suitable backup for him. And that's the price of winning the championship.
80, what if I told you the Celtics win their minutes no matter if Tatum's on the court or off the court? And they win them handedly.
You see, here's where I separate from You analytics guys.
I'm not even doing analytics. I'm doing
No,
raw, like,
that's raw
they
numbers,
win
right?
the minutes. They
Okay,
outscore the
that's
other team.
that's
That's not even
raw
analytics.
numbers.
That's just
But
outscoring the
Yeah,
team.
but here's where those numbers go. The next thing you're gonna tell me is that if he wasn't even in the finals, they're gonna win it. You see, because that's where that madness leads to.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm
why
not
with
going
AD on
there.
that one.
I'm saying a top 15 player in his spot, they win the finals anyway.
You know what?
It's
But
my
Dre, I think what I'm with AD on this one. Like, we done walked 37 blocks with Dre, but me and AD got to take a break right here. Dre got to walk them.
I gotta leave you right here. You gotta walk,
Dre
up the hill by yourself.
He got to walk them next 15 blocks by himself.
But
the reason why the comparison to Tatum and Jokic may be a peculiar comparison is that even with Jokic being great, they're not in the conference finals every year like that Boston team. And they're not in the finals 2 years out of his first six, whatever. Like, Boston's team is good. That's a great job by the Boston front office. That's not an indictment on Jason Tatum. That's not that Jason Tatum lifted them out of the burning ashes, right? Jokic lifted them out of the burning ashes. They went on a run. They won their championship, and now they're back to what they usually are.
Second roster.
If Tatum was here, we'd have already built him a statue. With his resume, since the moment he arrived, we'd have already built him a statue.
If Tatum played on them Julius Randle teams, them teams is not seeing nothing. They're not doing nothing.
They're not.
That's not what. That's not
the point. That's not the point. The point is the player draws other players. You see, you have Tatum over here. You're not gonna sit there and be like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to get somebody else, especially in his prime, as he's entering his prime. Are you mad?
Right.
At that time when he was 20, 22, 23, if you can't attract something with a young Tatum, you should be run out of town.
Bro, not even.
Well, when you get them two wings together, and that's
because ultimately
Jokic
has a ring. Jokic has a ring, right?
Yeah.
But so does Tatum.
Jokic has like 3 MVPs.
What
does
that mean for the Denver Nuggets, though?
It means that the Denver Nuggets are a terrible organization at building around a generational talent.
We know that, bro. We know that, right? You know how we know? We watched them do it with David Thompson. We watched them with Alex English. We watched them with Carmelo Anthony. We watched them with LaFonso Ellis. We watched them with Jokic. You know what I'm saying? We know Denver is this Denver Nuggets team right now is the 2019 Toronto Raptors. They'll never win another championship. Right? Not for the foreseeable future.
I don't know about that.
Not for the first, bro. If like what Dre just said,
I mean, they're 29 Raptors because Kawhi left.
Yeah,
if Kawhi ran it back with that team, they might repeat.
But what I'm saying is they won a championship. The next year, the roster changed. Right. This is what I'm saying. I'm thinking they're the '97 Florida Marlins. They put it together for a year. They made a run. They beat who did they beat? The Yankees. They beat the Yankees, or whoever they beat, some sucker team from the AL East, whoever it was. Right, they beat the Yankees, and then they tore it down. I think that's what Denver is.
I think it was the Padres. Was it the Padres?
Yeah, but Denver still has their 2 best pieces, and their 2 best pieces are top 20 guys.
But having
Jamal Murray, top 20. Stop it.
But having
Jamal Murray, name me 20 guys you want in the playoffs more than Jamal Murray.
In the playoffs, see, that's a different conversation because
that's because I'm always thinking of raising the stakes. You see, it's great. You want to sit every game and watch every.
He say that like he's a poker player.
You better believe it.
He say that like he's a poker player. Something's always on the table.
Yeah, it's always on the line, baby. Right. Always on the lines. Always on the line. And you can't name me 20 NBA players that you'd rather have more than Murray.
I think the Knicks have 3 of them.
Saw that man. I saw that man send George and Kawhi home when they weren't injured.
AD, if I'm afforded to,
Don't ever remember that. Don't ever forget that.
That synergy took about 7 years to get to.
I don't care.
If I'm affording a top 20 player 7 years or 6 years to play with Nikola Jokic, they better have me a damn good player.
Hold on, it took Michael Jordan 8 years to win the championship.
But that's not fair either, though. I just want to say it this way, right? Because I understand what Dre is saying about the incubation period being so long, and as a fan, how patient are you going to be? I think their incubation period was extended because Jamal Murray had the devastating leg. So if you take that timeline out, then the timeline may be closer to 5 or 6 years. Maybe
that's still a lot.
But that's still a long time, right?
How long did Curry win a championship?
But I was gonna say, but if
how long did it take Jordan to win one? We don't compare them to mere mortals.
Yeah. Jordan had to wait. Man, Jordan had to wait until all-time greats retired out of the league before he won championships.
Dudes had to get bad backs from fixing a driveway and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. Right,
Achilles had to get popped.
It takes time, but anyway, gents. Oh, I gotta run me 2 hours out here. Yo, I gotta dip, gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna
hang out y'all for a little while.
All right.
It was a pleasure.
Good night, as always. Great.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. The Jets might win 7 games this year, bro. Get excited.
Goodbye.
They might. Hey, Freezy. They might win 17 games.
They might win 17 games. They won't win the Super Bowl though.
If they win 17 games, they look, man. That sound like 14-3 in the regular season, a bye and 3 more games.
Have you seen their schedule?
It's
if they beat the 49ers, bro, they might run the table, bro.
I don't know about running the table because the last 5 games might be a nice little tough stretch.
About the in-division game? No, man. They ain't worried about the division games. No. By that time, Tyreek Hill and Tua will be hurt.
You got to be dominant on both ends. I think we're dominant defensively, but on offense, I don't know if we're dominant. Yeah.
If they keep Brees healthy, they'll be straight, I think.
Yeah, they won't win the Super Bowl because you need dominance to run the table, though. You don't need straight. You need record-breaking performances. You need Randy Moss breaking all them damn records, catching touchdowns.
I think all the Jets need is one guy with something. If the Jets can find a guy that's maybe coming off injuries, a dude with something to prove, like a dude trying to reclaim it, like Brees Hall. If Brees Hall can be the guy, like with
Mike
something,
Williams.
You
could have said Mike Williams.
He hurt already, bro. He hurt already.
That man hurt. That man missed 5 games every year.
Every year in the most inopportune time. He always get hurt. Mike Williams always get hurt when your 3rd and 4th receiver get hurt. Like your 3rd and 4th receiver get hurt, then Mike Williams get hurt. Then he's like, oh man, we out here
now
with Dre at receiver.
I gotta put my tight end out wide.
Right. But on the top 5 player point though. To be honest, I think we're talking about a world where is that me echoing? Is that me? Check.
I don't hear an echo.
Okay. All right. On the top 5, top 10, top 20, top 30 player thing, I think if we qualify the top 20 player in the league thing by all around player, like player that's most impactful on both sides of the floor, I think you'll see some guys slide down the list.
Yeah.
And then
Tatum is one of the best all around. Like he does virtually he's a jack of all trades. Yeah. It's just sometimes the guys that master a particular thing it becomes overwhelming. I think
Wemby. I think Wemby's a top 20 overall player in the league right now. Right? And I know that's like saying like bro, he only played 80 games. What are you talking about? Bro, right now, bro, his defense is all-time elite. And his offensive skill set is a work in progress.
I've never seen
coming along.
He shoots better off step backs than shooting open threes.
That's not a good thing, though. That could be that ain't a good.
Because he shoots like a stupid high percentage off step backs, like.
Right, but he also doesn't have any miles on his legs.
Right.
Once he gets miles on his legs, that step back three thing is going to go away because it's one of those things that's unsustainable. Not because he doesn't have a gift for it, but it's hard.
7-footer going up and down
Yep.
after year.
Yeah, no
Like
real high leverage year round basketball. Like
and
he
then
played, he played international, like played in the Olympics or whatever, but he didn't play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
he
like
had a gap.
Yeah. So
And then his earlier amateur years, they weren't but playing but so many games.
and the level of competition was not elite.
Yeah.
So
I can see that. I can see that 100%.
So with the step back three thing, I would just like for him to be able to knock down the three. I think Victor Wembanyama can be the first player in NBA history to average 3 blocks a game and shoot 40% from three.
It's one of like I've never seen players not even like on a fast break, not even attempt. Like they
Not even go at the rim. Yeah.
like they'll dribble, they'll do the Steve Nash on a wide open lane.
On a
They'll
wide
do
open layup, bro. On
just
a
pull it
wide
back
open
out.
layup.
And it just like he defies
Everything.
he defies logic, he defies physics.
Bro, I've seen dudes legit pump fake and get him in the air and then not even try to shoot at the rim because they think he's right behind them. Right, they're legit pump fake, get him in the air, take off, attack the closeout, and just dribble underneath the rim and around the other side.
It's the best of both worlds because he has this ability or body where he doesn't ever have to actually jump
Right,
to actually block shots.
right,
And team guys in the league, that's where you draw your fouls, jumping.
right.
But because he's not even altering shots, he's blocking shots
He's
while
blocking,
not leaving the ground.
right, and he's able to rebound his blocks.
And that's the thing too. Like he averages 10 rebounds off the rip, and he's just skinny.
Yeah, he's just reaching. He's not even boxing out, man. When he start, man, come on,
Man throwing about, you know when KD throwing about 15 pounds of just wiry strength.
yeah.
Oh my God, this is gonna be the same thing with him. Like Wemby's probably about 225 right now.
Right now,
When he gets to 240 of just that wiry strength, you know when KD got enough strength where you couldn't push him off his spot.
yeah.
There's just nothing you could do at
And
that point.
that is, and for people that don't know, that's the difference between a Ricky Davis and a Vince Carter.
Wait. Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, the ability to get the shot that you want and not take the shot that the defense is giving you. Right? It's the defense, but it's the difference between a great scorer like Wally Zerbiak and a great scorer like Klay Thompson.
Yeah, it's like when he actually dumbs down his offensive game.
Right.
Like he'll figure out his pet move, unstoppable moves. He'll get to his spot and just do whatever he needs to do, and it'll be ho hum boring, just the same way KD shoots damn near 60% on pull up mid range shots.
Yeah, because you can't block
like,
it because it's unpredictable. He gets the whistle, and he's like 6'11" with arms that go on forever.
It's what Thanos said. It's just inevitable.
Yeah, yeah.
There's just nothing you can do. And once he figures out, once he figures out, like, I can get to whatever spot I want, I'm going to go to the spot that I've made comfortable, and I will take shots from there, and you will not stop me. It's basically what Tim Duncan did his whole time.
I have 3 topics that I wanted to talk to you about, and talk to the chat about. One is why is Tim Duncan not considered in the GOAT conversation? 2 is Ariel Hukporti our new Isaiah Hartenstein? And 3, what's going to happen if, like what you mentioned the other night, what's going to happen if the Knicks have to move out of Madison Square Garden and move to Jackson Heights, the Jackson Heights Knicks?
Oh my God!
So the one I want to talk to you about is Ariel Hukporti potentially being
the next Homestein. I think it's gonna be. I think he's gonna need some seasoning, but he has ball skills. And like when you come from Europe as a big,
right,
you need a push shot. You need to be able to pass out of the post. You need to have a hook shot, especially if you're not an elite athlete. And
right,
like he has the skeletal frame of these things.
right,
Like he has the tree for it. He just like it's like he doesn't have the VC.
right. Yeah, he still got a brown T-shirt on.
Yeah, it's
He's
like
still wearing the 2K sneakers.
it's like he has a defined name underneath his name. Like
Yeah,
oh, it's a rebounding big or whatever, or a
yeah,
playmaking rebounder or something like that, right?
yeah,
He has the skill tree, but he doesn't have it filled out, and that takes time. But like in the summer league, you saw him attempt to do things. Like you saw him do dribble handoffs. You saw him try to attack in the post and do hook shots or drop steps. You saw him try to do a big man push shot. Like
right,
stuff skilled bigs do.
right. What if I told you that right now he's better than Isaiah Hartenstein was last year with the Knicks? And
Last year, or you mean his
what I'm
first
saying?
year or his second year?
Let me no. I'm gonna throw out a hypothetical to you just so that you can maybe understand where I'm coming from. I think right now at this moment, Ariel Hukporti has a higher basketball IQ than Isaiah Hartenstein. Right. And right now, I think Ariel Hukporti will not only be better than Hartenstein, but I think by this time next summer, we're talking about Hukporti maybe being the starter for us because he contributes a certain thing. Now here's the reason why I say that, because what I did was I went back and watched unnecessarily weird tape of Hartenstein and Hukporti and centers with that skill set, the Euro big, right? And they're all different, right? Like Zubats is a Euro big, but he's not Hartenstein, right? Zubats is more of a defensive guy. That you know what I'm saying? What I guess what I'm saying is I think you have not seen the best of Hukporti, especially from the summer league perspective, because the guards and guys he were playing with were low IQ, borderline NBA players. And so when you watch the games that he played in, he set screens, and before he took off, like instead of setting the screen and just taking off trying to get to the rim,
Yeah,
he set a screen, looked at the defense to see what they were doing, and then leaped into the space that they were about to evacuate. So by the time he got to that spot, they were already gone. So
he's a thinker. Yeah, he's a thinker.
He anticipate. Okay, for guys that like the slick talk, right? He's thinking at another. He's playing chess when other people are playing checkers. I guess that's the saying that people are saying. Now what that looks like on the surface is that he might not be moving as fast as everybody else, but he's always open. It's like Wayne Corbett. Like Wayne Corbett is. Yeah, anybody in the chat know anything about receivers that are more crafty than athletic? Right, like say why is Wes Welker always open?
Yeah,
Right, because he's crafty. Why is Julian Edelman always open? Because they're crafty, right? They have a level of athleticism that gets them to that level. Because Ariel Hukporti, if he couldn't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, he'd be fixing transmissions at the auto shop downtown, right? But he's more than that, right? When you watch this guy on tape, he does the nuance stuff that you can't really. He's got a feel for the game, right? He's got a feel for the game that I think somebody in the Knicks scouting department saw that he has a feel for the game, and that if they keep him in that,
they nurture him.
Yeah,
Let it cook a little bit, because you notice like Hartenstein got to the league, and it took him 4 or 5 years to stamp a claim to say that he belongs.
Yeah.
So you can't really rush it with something like him, but like you see the outline of what he can be.
Yeah.
And when the skill develops and he actually has to be respected offensively,
Right.
That's when you start seeing things open up in terms of his ability to maybe pass or
Yeah.
ability to play out the poster, find himself open. And like it's a skill to make yourself available as a big.
Right.
It's absolutely a skill. And if you think about it and you know and you go about your job the way you're supposed to do, if you develop him the right way, bring his
Right.
offense along,
Right.
it's gonna be a real gem.
Have him be non-essential first. Block shots. Do the Mark Williams, Jalen Duran stuff.
Yeah.
Block shots, rebound, be productive on the boards and defensively in your time on in the minutes you're given. You're not guaranteed to get any minutes. So if you get 4 minutes, hey man, listen, be impactful. 2 rebounds, 2 points, 2 rebounds in your 4 minutes on the floor.
Yeah.
Something, a block, something, a steal, a charge, something. Right? Net rating. Have a positive net rating when you're on the floor. Right? And then as we bring him along as a non-essential guy, right? As the backup big playing minutes with rotation guys, like in a rotation. And I'm not saying Randall is coming off the bench, but I'm saying when you bring Hukporti in, you're gonna have some level of starting guy. Because if it's not Randall, it's gonna be Brunson.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
You,
Right.
you got to have like some sort of offensive hub around him
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
insulate him so he's not overwhelmed.
Yeah. And because he's not good enough to be that yet.
Yeah,
Right.
like you can't put him out there in lineups with him and Deuce with no
No.
Randall and no Brunson
Him,
and
Deuce, and
expect
Cameron
him to not
Payne.
look crazy.
Him, Deuce, Cameron Payne, and Josh Hart on the floor at the same time.
and,
You
and a
can't.
bunch of guys just dribbling around in circles, not like accepting a normal screen and
Yeah.
letting your pick come. Like
Right.
it's a lot of guys on a team that kind of aren't nuanced or patient enough because it's a skill to actually accept a pick.
Right. Right.
Sometimes the lesser nuanced offensive player will go before the pick is even set, and then you putting your big man in position to draw a foul, and now
Now
you
your
got a
big man's
turnover.
getting a charge call because he's bowling. Right. But the thing with Hukporti, though, what I noticed when he played with Kolek and Jokovitis is that when he
He made himself available for that pocket pass.
yeah, when he yeah, and what happened was guys that know how to play basketball would find him in would anticipate him getting there just because they could read his body and what he's doing. They know how to play.
Yeah, and then
Right.
he would go for the floater. It's just it wasn't going in, but that's part of his game. Like he works on that,
Right. Right.
and it looked
Right.
natural. It looked like it was something that he planned. Like, okay, I'm gonna make myself available in this pocket, and when I get to this spot in the lane at the dotted line, I'm gonna put up my little floater that I've been
Right.
working on.
Right.
If it doesn't go in, so be it. But this is gonna be a staple in my game, and when I get it right, I'm gonna be extremely effective and valuable for high volume offensive players.
Right.
I'll
It's
be
just
I'll
split
be a
second.
safety. Yeah,
It's a split decision thing, right?
yeah.
If the big drops his foot, keep going. I mean, yeah, keep going. If the big squares up, hit the floater. Right? This is split microsecond, millisecond
And if the
decision.
big is too aggressive, I'm gonna roll to the basket, hit me
Right.
for a dump down.
Right. Where's he going? Is the big going to the box? If the big goes to the box, you show your chest so they can throw the lob over the top of the big. You at the rim for the dunk. Right.
Yeah,
Right. So if the big doesn't go to the box, you stay in that floater area because the guy driving, turning that corner to keep that big frozen in that area. The big can't be in two places at one time. So when
yeah.
they get to that point, he's gonna pass it out to you for the floater. Are you available?
And
Yes.
that's also another step that Brunson's gonna have to take individually as a playmaker and a leader as well.
What if I told you that Brunson can do that? He doesn't trust Mitch.
Oh yeah. I think that there's a reason why, like in some games when teams decide to blitz Brunson,
Right.
those are the games that Hartenstein had his best offensive output, like
Right.
12, 13, 14, 15 points. Like you
Right.
remember that game against the Warriors when the Warriors guarded him like he was Steph?
Yeah. I remember that.
And Hartenstein had like a quick 10 in the first quarter.
Yeah. And then
Then
Kaminga
they had
ate
to
him.
switch
Then
up the
Kaminga
whole
ate.
coverage.
Yeah. Then Kaminga ate him up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Kaminga and Trace Jackson Davis just ate him up in the fourth. And no disrespect to Hartenstein because Hartenstein's a great NBA player, right? But everybody, when you're a second round pick, you're going to have some type of flaw,
Yeah.
When you're not a top 15 pick, generally, and when you're not a lottery pick, generally people say there's some flaw with this player, whether it's injury, height, skill, motor, whatever it is. They're like, this guy has some kind of flaw somewhere.
Yeah.
And so Hartenstein, Hukporti has flaw. Hukporti, I think his thing is not enough basketball at a high level, right?
And
Like
I
when we
also think like he's not an elite athlete, but you don't need to be if you play to your strengths and you
right,
know where to be position wise.
right, right,
Half of basketball isn't like people need athleticism. Unfortunately, some people need athleticism to make up for the shortcomings processing wise.
right.
But if you know where to be and you have length and you're
Right.
not a complete stiff, that's all you need at
That's all
that
you
point
need, really. Yeah. Yeah.
for a big.
Yeah. And so my thing with Hukporti is I think in and I really want to, I wish there was, you know what, maybe we can do it on playback TV because we won't be able to do it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. But we can do the breakdown of Hukporti games on how he sets the screen and snaps his head around to look first and then go instead of just going. Right. And so what that does is creates passing angles for the ball handler, right? Pulls the defender away from the ball handler with a defender who rubbed his defender off on the screen itself and is now looking to probe and attack the basket. It creates the 2-on-1 goalie type situation where you have two offensive players against the goalie, right? And in this
Hmm.
situation is two offensive players against the rim protector, right? And so he's smart enough to understand spacing in that case, and he's smart enough to know how far to go and when to stop.
Hmm.
Do you if Brunson is going to the rim, do you go to the rim with him, or do you read Brunson's body and say I should go here, I should attack the basket, I should be ready for the lob, or I should be ready to clean up this miss, right? I don't think Mitch has that in him. I think Mitch's mindset is always clean up the miss,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And he's never gonna be more than that, and that's totally fine. But in order to win at the highest level or like close out games, you can't be a liability or someone that you have to ignore or be ignored on the offensive end. Like
right.
I think the whole value in Hartenstein, unfortunately for better or worse, is that he was playable down the stretches of games
Yeah,
where teams just couldn't just completely ignore his existence
right.
unless it was rebounding. Like it's one of those things. And like I don't think like Hartenstein is this savior or ultimate utility player,
Right.
but he found his niche and his niche fits with
And he
our
had
star
clutch
players.
moments too, right now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Don't
Yeah,
forget that
absolutely. The
his block
rebound.
shot on Maxey late in the fourth quarter to
His
save the
rebound
game.
that game, yeah.
Yeah, man. He blocked Maxey's shot off the rim and they called it goaltend. We reviewed it and it came back as a clean block.
Yeah.
Right? Saved the game. So he does have value, right? Right. He does have
But it's
value
not impossible to find what he does.
right. And I think with the Hukporti conversation, the reason why I'm adding Hukporti to the conversation, not because I don't think we're going to trade for Walker Kessler, because I think trading for Walker Kessler only means that the Knicks are going to go super young at center next year, right? I
Mhm.
think they're going to go if they trade for Walker Kessler. I think Mitch is probably his last season in New York,
Yeah.
right? You know why would
I
you?
mean, yeah. I like logically, if that was the Walker Kessler, if Walker Kessler was the move, we're probably gonna get him. We're probably gonna extend him,
Right?
and there's no point in paying two centers that much money,
Yeah, and the thing is,
especially if you already have like your core four.
right?
Even though we never really developed them to call them a core four, but you have your main four pillars for your
Right.
team
You
already
got to
under
lock in.
contract.
Yep. You got them all locked in. You got to
At that point, you got to cheap it. You got to be very thrifty
right. You
everywhere
remember the
else.
centers? You remember the centers the Golden State Warriors had?
Exactly.
You remember Damon Jones?
Yeah.
You remember Festus Ezeli?
Oh, what was the one that threw a lob up 30 points to himself?
Jordan Poole. I mean,
No,
not
not
Jordan Poole,
Jordan
but
Poole, but
Jordan Bell.
yes, Jordan Bell.
Yeah.
Then they had
Looney not making a whole lot of money. Then they were getting vet minimums out to like
Boogie.
JaVale McGee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they cut corners in certain areas. Then they found guys that were niche role players that did particular things well that they could pick up where they lacked in
Right.
other areas.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And that makes sense. That's why I think the Knicks are. I think the Hukporti kid. And no disrespect to people that's on the live stream. Y'all know I love y'all, man. But when we have the Hukporti conversation, I'd rather have the Hukporti conversation with y'all that understand the nuance of the game. That way when I mention things like Hukporti knows how to triangulate, right? That's a part of that's what he learned in Europe. He knows how to triangulate. He triangulates himself between the defender and the pick and roll ball handler. So he the defender and the ball handler. Let's just say Brunson. He knows how to triangulate, right, and keep the spacing in that gap. It's the reason why Emmitt Smith rushed for more yards than Barry Sanders, right? Because Emmitt Smith knew how to triangulate. Let those guys block, and then you just stay in that triangle with them, and that triangle will get you yards. You'll get 4 yards just off the fact that you have all-time greats on your offensive line. Whereas Barry Sanders was like, if it's not that, I'm going to find the space like a mouse, like a field mouse. I'm going to find the space and just rush to daylight, right?
Yeah.
And there's no disrespect to Barry because he's probably a top 10 running back all time, right? He's pretty top 10, no doubt. He's top 10, right? But when it comes to guys like Mitch doesn't triangulate. Mitch
Yeah.
is get to a spot, clean up the mess.
He's not think and partially I think some of that is to do to coaching because I think Tibbs probably gave him the opportunity to do more basketball play type
Right,
stuff.
right.
And he realized he's never gonna actually
He
get it.
it ain't there, bro.
So they told him like, yo, in this play, stay on the low block or be in the dunker spot. And when the shot goes up, go out of bounds and back into guys
Yeah,
like Steven Adams does. You
yeah,
know, Steven Adams be boxing out from out of bounds
yeah.
to get rid of guys.
You know.
'Cause
I think they were talking about changing the rule. Like I think
they-
they were talking about changing the rule. Not
so
just because of
you can't box out from that far underneath the
yeah,
rim.
you
For
can't yeah.
outside.
I think it's a rule like you can't. I think it's an NBA rule now. Like you can't be off the floor like 2 or 3 seconds or something.
Oh no, I mean you can't set a screen in that area. I know
Right,
that you can't set a screen out of bounds.
right, right. Right,
But yeah.
but I think there were guys like legit would go so far off the floor to try to bring their man away from the ball. I don't know why I'm thinking Vinny Del Negro when I think that.
I
But
think I think that happened for some guys like trying to avoid getting fouled.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I
But
don't know why
Mitch be in the paint, but Mitch be like underneath the rim, and he be
right.
boxing out from underneath the rim.
Underneath the rim backwards. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that goes to the point too that I was talking about Mitch. Like if I'm attacking a closeout off the wing or out of the corner, and Mitch is in that spot that you just mentioned, like you described it perfect. Mitch is in that spot. If Mitch just seals his man, I can throw an entry pass to Mitch right there, and he can just dunk a basketball all night.
but do you trust him catching the ball?
Do I trust him sealing a man?
Yeah, or I
It's
mean
both. It's
sometimes
both.
his sometimes he lacks the fundamentals.
Right.
As a big, he's constantly having the ball low.
And see, and that's the thing. When I throw that entry pass, I've got to bounce it in there low away from the defender.
And then but he keeps it low instead of immediately putting it above his head.
And
And
yeah, man.
but when he puts it above his head, he's not thinking lay it up. He's thinking I'm trying to dunk it. And sometimes a dunk doesn't answer every problem. Sometimes you got to eat some contact to throw a layup off the glass.
And sometimes you just got to go to the hole strong and trust that you're gonna get the foul call.
Yeah,
And go to the line and hit your free throws.
and he's not. He's
Yeah,
not with all that.
he's not. And for that reason, I think he doesn't seal his man.
Like
Right.
there's the way the league is going. Like yeah, rim runners matter,
Absolutely, right?
Right.
But now rim runners are coming with a skill set along with it. Like Derek Lively
What
is
if
a
I
rim
told
runner
you? What if I
right now,
told you
but he
though?
has a skill set to go along with it that can grow with it.
But what if I told you that rim runners in 2 years will be outdated out of basketball?
Hmm. Well, I mean, Derek Lively will develop beyond just a rim runner by that point.
Yeah, no, he won't be. He's not a rim runner. He's
I
gonna
think
be
rim runners will be in the league, but they won't be starters ever again.
no. You know how you know what I. So what I noticed as Drake disappeared, what I noticed about the rim runners is on the floor. The defense will take their rim runner off the floor and put a older athletic small forward on them to neutralize the athleticism that it takes to be a rim runner.
Like Freezy, when you saw the finals, they put Tatum on Gafford and Lively,
Yeah.
and he's not even older. He's just a big wing.
Yeah, and they put Nicholas Batum on Mitchell Robinson when we remember we lost to the Clippers
Oh, the game
when
we came back.
yeah, the game we should have won and Batum hit the 3-pointer at the buzzer and we lost
Yeah,
in overtime.
yeah.
Yeah, they had Nicholas Batum on our center. So that they can match athleticism because the thing athleticism in space doesn't the size in theory the size doesn't matter in theory. Now, of course, you're not going to put a 6'2" guy on a 7'2" guy, right? But if you could put a 6'8", 6'9" guy on a 7-foot guy,
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter. That's the reason.
and you get away with it because bigs aren't skilled anymore. You do that switch in the '90s,
Then you could just post them up.
yeah, they would just post them up underneath the rim, and they'd have the fundamentals and the footwork to just do a basic
It
hook
just
shot.
or just dunk on them all night, or just go to the free throw line all night,
But
right?
bigs
Mouse
aren't
the
really
house.
taught those things anymore,
Nah,
and bigs are generally, be absolutely honest with you, when we talk about the rim runner, they're getting closer in size to wings than actual bigs.
yeah, but you know what? You know who's a great rim runner and it's not even old, is a pretty young player?
Yeah.
Clint Capella.
Eh,
Clint Capella is 30.
he's one of the greatest rim runners to ever exist.
Right.
There's a
And
reason why they traded for him from the Rockets for Trey Young. They saw ball dominant guard needs a guy that will set the hell out of screens,
yep,
run all the way to the rim, make himself available for lobs and dump downs, and will finish them.
yep.
And on the odd occasion, he might hit you with a little post move, dump down, little hook shot.
Little yeah, yeah. Bro,
And
like
he's not even the most skilled, but that's more
no.
than what Mitch would give us.
Yeah, and he's not even the most athletic anymore either.
Nope.
But he's a double double.
But he can get rebounds no
Yeah,
matter what the context is.
yeah. And the thing is about the rim runners. In my opinion, the new center archetype is Wimby. I think Wimby is the
Wemby and
new.
Chet.
Yep, that's the new chase that guy until you get it guy. Like how the 6'6" athletic shooting guard used to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you didn't have a 6'6" athletic shooting guard, you were
Well,
chasing
what
it
were you
until you got it.
doing? And now they phasing the shooting guard out the league.
Yeah. Now the shooting guard and small forward could be considered the same position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
just wing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so when I look at Mitch, the thing that's going to keep Mitch in the league is not just his hands, right? But the ability to make himself an offensive threat in space. And how he does that is by sealing men at the rim, catching it, and trying to finish. Because if you do it enough, people will find you. It's like when Seattle tried to throw the deep ball all the time to Doug Baldwin and the other guy, something Tate, Golden Tate.
Golden Tate,
Right.
yeah.
They used to try to throw the deep ball, and they had another kid, the kid that's there now. He's there like their third receiver. Um, oh gosh, I forget his name, but his pops used to play for Kansas State. His pops used to play in the NFL too. I forget his name, but anyway, instead of constantly trying to chuck it downfield to those guys on post and square ends, they just have their quarterback drop step and throw a screen to Percy Harvin.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get the same amount of yards. If you throw it down the field 38 yards, dude, catch it in traffic, that's great. You made a great catch, 38 yards.
Why work harder, work smarter?
Yeah, why throw a 38-yard pass when you can throw a 0-yard pass to Percy Harvin and let him get 38 yards?
Percy was a different level of explosive.
But that's the thing about Mitch. Like Jalen Brunson, dribble, post, footwork, pump fake, in the mid-range 12.
I mean, you're describing exactly what Luka Doncic does with his bigs.
Right. Yeah. If they all they have to do is seal and a guard, whoever, Randall, Dre. Here's the thing. When we talk about playmaking, I think every time we hear the word playmake, we always think of a point guard making a play for everyone else. And I think what we should be thinking is in our offense, playmaking at a lower, more fundamental level that gets a grander level of results.
Yeah.
Right. By simplifying to be more efficient.
Draw double team, kick.
Yeah. How Jalen Brunson gets more 3-point opportunities is Julius Randle seals his man, OG Anunoby, kicks it to Randle in the paint. The defense collapses. He kicks it out to Jalen Brunson wide open on the wing for 3.
It's like there's a reason why Brunson and Randle are at the top of the league in double teams. Not that they're any worse or better than all the other guys in the league, but it's by design. We intentionally put teams in compromising positions so they have to collapse.
Right.
And so I'm not saying that it's inflated, but you put your guys in positions to make defenses react.
Right.
That is what our offense is at its most simplest form. Limit turnovers, limit the possession game at times, and draw and make teams react and kick. Whereas other teams aren't as strict to those principles, but Tibbs is a madman and will be upset if you're not strict to his principles.
And I think that part of that is that when you're turnover averse, you tend to put the restraints on lesser skilled players because they're more turnover prone. But when you have guys like Bridges, OG, Randall, Brunson together as a starting unit, I think Tibbs can live with guys being more aggressive in their facilitation and playmaking because he can trust those guys with high IQ to make the right basketball play. Like Tibbs will say all the time, the game will tell you what to do. Like, so when
the game will tell you what to do.
Right. That's our offense is a motion offense with late screening in it, right?
Yeah.
And so and for everybody that really is not, because I know Knicks fans generally don't want to talk about basketball 101, right? But there's a screening aspect to your offense and so there's a screening aspect and then there's a pick aspect of it, right? So in every offense, players are going to pick for each other. Whether you're watching the ball or away from the ball, they are going to pick for each other away from the ball to create mismatches all over the floor. That's what offense is. You pick guys in order to, create mismatches. And when you get the mismatch you want, you take advantage of it, right? And so in our offense, when I'm describing to Dre, y'all, and I know Dre knows this already, right? But when we run Jalen Brunson baseline, right, around a screen for Mitch, right? Say Bridges has the ball up top. Mitch is, at the baseline screening for Brunson. What happens is if Brunson's man gets screened out of the play, he has to switch. Guess who he switches on? He switches onto Mitch, and if Mitch can seal him, then Mitch can have
we get an advantage, but we don't even use the advantage because we have no faith in Mitch actually utilizing that.
Sealing his man, catching the ball, finishing. We don't have, Or if
going
he
up
double
strong,
teams,
and if he gets fouled, being confident in hitting his free throws.
or finding a 3-point shooter or finding an open man on away from the ball without panicking. Right? Because say if the double team comes and there is no open man, can Mitchell Robinson dribble back out to the perimeter safely and find an offensive player like Hartenstein can do? No. No, he can't. He hadn't shown that he can do that. And this is no disrespect to Mitch again, but we have like 6 years of tape saying that Mitch is not going to do that. This year, though, when you have elite cutters and Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby, bro, anytime any double team on the floor with the Knicks is going to lead to a dunk or a 3-pointer. That's us this year. Everybody this year is going to be a dunk or a 3-pointer this year. That just get used to it. Every now and then you'll see Mikal Bridges occupy the soft spot in a defense. Like if they're selling out for the 3 and they're selling out at the rim, every now and then you'll see Randall, OG, or Bridges sneak into that unoccupied space and take 2-pointers, but that's not what we're gonna want. That's not what we're gonna want. We want to see OG dunk at least 3 times a game. We want to see,
provided we have more talent, the offense should evolve.
More people to respect means the more defenses are stressed.
And I think Tibbs, to his credit, whenever there's been different iterations of the team or the offense or players available to him, he's changed a bit. Like when we lost Randall, Tibbs went all the way to watch as much Golden State Warriors film as he could possibly watch.
Right.
Just to figure out ways to get Brunson open.
Right.
Or allow him to have advantages.
Right.
So now that we have more talent, he needs to seek out ways to see a more egalitarian type offense where everybody can touch the ball, everybody has an advantage, and everybody can be able to put guys at disadvantages on the other end.
Right.
Repeatedly. We have enough talent. We don't have to thrive on the Randall get two on the ball and then kick out.
Bro, if you got two on the ball, right? Just say in some weird twist of fate where 2 guys are guarding Mitchell Robinson. That means 3 guys are guarding the other 4 skill players on our floor.
Yeah.
That's the dream scenario. If Mitchell Robinson can get double teamed offensively, that's the dream sequence, bro. That's the prices right. That's the gravy train, bro.
That is death by 1,000 cuts at that point.
Because whoever you leave open, the other 4 guys are all-star caliber NBA players. And if you double team Mitch, bruh.
You'd have to change Mitch's attributes on 2K for that reason. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know. But I'm talking about in a scenario where he grabs an offensive rebound.
Yeah. And teams are just panicking because they have to send 2 bodies at him to keep him off the glass in the first place.
In that reactionary space. I'm saying somebody takes a shot and we miss and get the offensive rebound. Mitch is at the rim. Now the power forward and Mitch and center are with their hands up trying to block Mitch's shot.
It's a wide open 3.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying.
Just and it's a wide open 3s for guys not named RJ Barrett and Quinn Grimes.
Yeah. Guys that are ready to pull the trigger, so to speak.
Pull the trigger.
Right. And so that's the reason why I was saying the other day, or say for the past few weeks or so, not in a sense that the Knicks are just going to come out and be the Sacramento Kings. I don't think the Knicks are going to be that. But I think on the same amount of shots, they'll be more efficient from 2 and from 3 because it's not the number of shots you take, it's the quality of shots that you get.
Of shots. And who takes them too.
And who takes them. Are they in rhythm? Right? So it's that I reach for when I have the conversation about the Knicks offense being vastly improved, not just because of personnel, right?
You know what I think this team is gonna look like, Freezy? I think Brunson is gonna take the back seat for a lot of the first 3 quarters of games. Like he'll get his there, here and there.
Yep.
But when it comes to the fourth quarter, he might lead the league in fourth quarter points this year.
Okay.
Freezy. I
Okay.
think he understands the importance of getting his teammates like acclimated and getting them comfortable and getting them touches.
Right.
He might be one of those guys that, over the course of the first 3 quarters of the game, he might get 12 points just
Yeah.
for being Jalen Brunson.
And that's
But
a lot too, by the way.
yeah,
12 points through 3 quarters. It don't sound like a lot. But if you're talking about this dude is going to take 8 shots in the fourth quarter, you're talking about that man potentially finishing with 30.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be one of those guys that coast those first 3 quarters. Then he has his legs for the fourth.
Yeah.
And at that point, at that point where you're coasting the first 3 quarters of the game, Randall's getting his shots up. He's in a rhythm.
Right.
Mikal and OG have already established in that game that you can't leave them open for three,
Yeah.
and you can't give a poor closeout either.
Yeah. And you have your mix of Dante, Josh,
Yes, sprinkled in.
OG, Bridges combining in that second and third quarter for the sustenance that a machine needs.
Yeah, and then you have Brunson taking the team home with fresher legs
Right.
because he saved a lot of it in the tank for the earlier parts of the game.
Yeah.
I think he's going to lead the league in fourth quarter points this year, or be top 3, top 4 in fourth quarter points.
All right. So
Like he's going to average 10 points in the fourth quarter.
easily, I think so. I can see that. I can see that. Right. But
I think that would be the game plan to establish the tertiary players, the star players around, the high end role players around, and then once they're established, you're in a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario in the fourth quarter where if you send help to Brunson, well, they're already in the rhythm and they're good to go. If you don't send the help, then Brunson is just going to destroy whoever you put on him 1-on-1
right.
with fresh legs.
Right. Oh, King Ribby is still in the building.
Shout out King Ribby.
Hey, Ribby, salute King Ribby. Salute to Ribby.
That man said no RJ Slant.
Yeah, hey, Ribby. So breaking news, Ribby. RJ Barrett live in summer workouts.
Leave that man alone, man. That's Ruby cousin.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But so I get it, man. I'm not for sure exactly how it's gonna play out. I can envision what you're saying about Brunson being the fourth quarter closer. I do want to say real quick before I get out of here, man. I do think the Knicks are gonna have 2 breakout players this year.
Breakout how?
I'm talking about like burst onto the scene.
Like all-star or like
Yeah,
getting all NBA
like
defense?
all-star, like dag, he good. I didn't know he was this good.
Well, I think in order to there's a lot of all-stars in the East this year. Like when you do something like that with with a group, you need to be pushing like 60-win pace. And also I feel like there was a deficit in talents like when Atlanta did it.
Yeah.
So
When Cleveland did it, when
we
when
can get
Cleveland had
3.
3 all-stars.
Yeah, I think we can get 3.
Right.
I
And
don't know
so
4.
I
Four
think
is
OG
hard.
Anunoby is going to be an all-star this year.
Ooh,
I
okay.
think OG is going to be an all-star this year in the most conventional and unconventional way possible. Right? I think he's probably going to be the third or fourth most impactful player on offense on a night-to-night basis. I mean, consistently. I'm not talking about from game to game. I could see OG Anunoby legit be in that range of 20 points a game for a large stretch. Will he finish at 20 points a game? I don't think so. But I can see OG Anunoby being the direct benefactor of how the Knicks break out of the box.
Yeah.
Because listen, Jalen Brunson has the league on notice. Like Jalen Brunson is not going to sneak up on anybody.
Yeah, no.
Right. Jalen Brunson is one of the most hyped NBA. Jalen Brunson at this moment is probably a top 3 most hyped player during the summer. Right. During the summer, during this summer, Jalen Brunson is so hyped, bro. Like all this news about Jalen Brunson, like other stars are in Cabo. They had some beat. They probably in Atlanta at some tattoo session. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, looking to whip out a brand new tattoo for the season. Jalen Brunson is getting the captaincy and the captain's C at the same time. Right. So he's not going to sneak up on anybody. We all know that Randall legitimately always has, for some reason, Randall always has something to prove coming into a season. Not the most to prove, but just something.
Yeah.
And I think the benefactor of all the eyes by the defense legit is going to be Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. And I think you'll see that reflected in their numbers at the beginning of the season. Now, will they be able to sustain that throughout the season? Will the Knicks have 4 20-point per game scorers? Absolutely not. You just can't. It's not fathomable. You just can't. But can they have 3 guys average 20 points a game for a stretch? Of course they can. The Knicks did it with RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they can. Of course they can have, and RJ Barrett didn't even do it in an efficient manner. Right? RJ Barrett was not efficient at all. And we expect OG and Mikal Bridges to both be efficient. And Brunson to be efficient, and Randall to be efficient. So, am I talking homer talk about a guy being, 20 points a game and all of the 3 all-star? I'm saying the possibility is there for OG, right? Yeah. Because I think Mikal Bridges will be more back into that his pocket of 18 points a game, elite defense, rock steady, being in every game. I think that's going to be Mikal Bridges. I think OG, though, without eyeballs on him, I think he can thrive. I think OG Anunoby can take his 10 shots a game and turn it into somewhere close to 20 points a game. And I know that sounds like a stretch. Like, does that mean he has to hit every shot? No. He'll make some free throws. He'll make some 3-pointers, and he'll get close to that. And you couple that with the elite level defense, and I think that gets him into all-star conversation. The second player, I think is going to be a breakout out the rip is Tyler Kolek. I don't think they're going to be able to keep him on the bench.
Man, it sounds like 11-man rotation you described.
Nah, I know. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like somebody's going to become expendable and be sent packing in a trade that the Knicks do in January.
Oh, Deuce Hive might not like that, Freezy.
Oh, I don't know if it's Deuce though.
Well, Heart Hive might not like that.
Oh wow, the Heart, yeah. Well, I don't know, bro. I think Tyler Kolek offers something that in this offense that we're gonna run, and basically the unselfishness is gonna get him on the floor because guys are gonna want to play with another player that's totally unselfish. I'm not saying that he's going to be Joe Namath. I'm saying he'll definitely be Chad Pennington, though.
Yeah,
it is what I'm saying. Robert Paul's in the building, right? So Danny Landis is in the building. Salute. What I'm saying, everybody, is I don't expect Tyler Kolek to come in and be 15, 7, and 5. No, what I'm saying is Tyler Kolek can burst onto the scene by being 6, 3, and 3. Right, rock steady 6, 3, and 3 out of nowhere, out of nowhere. Right, because if you think about our third point guards last year, we expected them to score. The NBA is in a place where point guards generally score.
Yeah,
right. But most NBA teams don't have the quality wing depth that the Knicks have. When you have scoring on the wing, and you don't need a bass player. Right? You don't need a bass player. You just need a maestro. Yep. You just need a conductor. And I think Tyler Kolek can be that.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, and I think he was drafted for a reason to be that
Yep.
in
Yep.
those non-Brunson minutes to lead a cohesive lineup.
Yep. Yep. Because in non-Brunson minutes, you're still going to have Randall, OG, Bridges. Two of those three is still going to be on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't see a world where all four of those guys are going to be out of the game at the same time, unless it's injuries. Right? You're going to have some combination of Bridges and Randall, Brunson and OG, Randall and OG, Brunson and OG, Brunson and Randall. You're going to see some combination of those four on the floor at the same time all the time. And all you need is a guy that's going to come in and be the conductor for them.
Mm-hmm.
Bring the ball up the floor, read the defense, call out where you want to initiate the floor, the play from. Go to that side of the floor, depending on the matchup, call out your play, whether you call out Jello, Caddy, whatever you go, Bronco, whatever you want to call based on what Tibbs say before the game. And then, what I'm saying, just conduct that, make sure everybody's in the right. Everybody is just all you need Tyler Kolek to do is make sure everybody is in the right spot to run whatever Tibbs calls, Cadillac, Benzo, whatever you want to call, right? Whatever Tibbs got in mind that night, and just make sure everything is right. And Tyler Kolek will be in that John Paxson spot of knocking down wide open threes and getting the ball to the best scorers in the world. That's it. That's all you expect. John Paxson.
Yep. I can see that 100%. And we don't need no more than that because we already have the versatility at all the other positions.
Yep. That's all you need. And then if you have that type of guy that is going to play unselfish and make the game easier for you, then now you're talking about guys that generally had been the franchise player, so to speak, for their own teams. Mikal Bridges, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, guys that generally had to work hard, give 250% for every shot that they take. Now they only have to work like 65%. Now you're talking about guys staying healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then when you're talking about the grind of the 82-game season, you need guys like that to step up and give you offense and help you maintain your position in the standings while not overburdening your star players.
So Robert Paul says, it'd be Deuce to be traded for a center. That's what y'all think? Hey, man, I love Deuce, bro. I love Deuce. I don't want to put Deuce's name in a trade. I feel you because it makes the most sense from a how do I say it? It makes the most sense from a fantasy GM perspective. That's the only phrase I can come up with, Dre. It's probably a better term for it. I just can't think of one right now. But the Utah Jazz ain't trading Walker Kessler for no Deuce McBride, bro.
No, man. You talking about Danny Ainge, man.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Yeah. Charlotte's not trading Mark Williams for Deuce McBride, man. Detroit's not trading Jalen Duren for Deuce McBride.
Absolutely not.
At least I can't see it right now in the summertime. I can't see that happening. Yeah, I just can't see that at all. What I can see though is in a bizarre world, the guy that we move is Mitchell Robinson. Ugh. I think Mitch is the guy.
Shout out to Core. Core not gonna like you saying that for you.
Yeah, I don't like saying it either. I don't like saying it either, but if we're in a place where we're looking to upgrade at center, then why not just trade the center you got and get other pieces? Utah is not going to want them because Utah is rebuilding. Charlotte's not going to want him. Charlotte's rebuilding. But Detroit, though, is looking to win. Would they trade Jalen Duren for Mitch straight up? No, of course they wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't. But would Mitch solve some of their problems, though? Absolutely. You'd have to give Detroit a package that's so sweet for Jalen Duren, because Jalen Duren is still on his rookie contract, right? Yeah, he's still on his
Yeah.
third
He has
season.
a year left, I believe.
Yeah, him
or
Trevor
2 years
Keels,
left. It's 2.
Yeah, him, Trevor Keels, Mark Williams, Chet, Paolo, all them dudes that were in the same draft, I think, are basically going into year 3. So you'd have to give Detroit a mega deal for Jalen Duren. Right. But and I love Mitch. I think Mitch is a quality NBA player. Right. But what I would be interested in doing is seeing if that, because what's he making, 14 million?
Who, Mitch?
Yeah.
I believe 14 or 13, somewhere in there.
The 13 or 14. That's cheap for an NBA center. The thing is with Mitch is, if you don't trade Mitch and he has a career year, say Mitch is and chat, listen, don't laugh at me when I say this, but say Mitch averages 13 and 11, makes second team all NBA defense, and I'm gonna say this right at 3 a.m. on the dot Eastern Standard Time, right? If Mitch takes 10 3-pointers this year and maybe hits one, right?
Corner joints.
Yeah, just take 10 of them all year. Say every 8th game, Mitch takes a 3.
Here's my blow a gasket if he took one, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. I know. But say Mitch has a career year. This time next year, we're talking about paying Mitchell Robinson $25 million for a contract extension. 4 years, $25 million a year. Is that what we want to do? Dre, I don't know, bro. You want to pay? The Hartenstein got 29 from OKC. And if Mitch has bigger numbers and is more accomplished than the Hartenstein year he had this year,
that brother can go, man. We can't afford to pay him in the first place. No figure like that. We got to cheap out at somewhere. At some point, you got to cut costs somewhere.
Right? You gotta.
You can't pay all the stars.
You got to figure out a way to get them to the Phoenix Suns, bro. So a team that has $14 million and some guys that you can swap pieces with. We're in the same boat. They can't afford to take on money, and we can't either. So you gotta figure out a way to get Mitch to a team that needs a Mitchell Robinson type guy like Phoenix, and get a return from Phoenix that fixes your center problems. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I don't think that's a scenario where the Knicks front office is like, nah, we're gonna keep Mitch. And I like Mitch, but if we're talking about Mitch can't steal a guy in the paint and catch a ball at his knees and go up strong, or he can't stay healthy, or whatever the issue is with Mitchell Robinson, I think you have to consider another playoff team in the same boat as us, right? And we're in a situation where you can't do 2 for 1, right? I don't think we're at that point where we can't do 2 for 1
in a trade.
Yeah,
I think, is our roster completely full? I think it's at 14 still.
No, I mean I'm talking about the cap number.
I couldn't tell.
I was gonna try to get to that.
Well, I mean, if we do 2 for 1, we'd probably be taking on less salary unless it's a guy that's making a ton of money, which means we would be fine. Just being able to take. I think at this point we could only add about $7 million more in salary.
Right. So that would be 21 million, including Mitch.
Yeah.
That's interesting, bro. That's very, very interesting. I don't when I looked at the Jazz roster, I don't see a world where we can pull it off with the Utah Jazz.
Mm.
I do see a scenario though where the Knicks could do that for Alperen Sengun.
You got to give up picks we ain't got.
You gotta give up a lot for
Yeah,
because
I don't think we
Sengun is
got
going to be an
picks.
all-star center.
And you got to remember that team wants to win right now. That head coach,
Yeah,
he ain't with that I waited out type stuff. He wants to win right now.
and that's the reason why they would do Sengun for Mitchell Robinson because Sengun's a nice player, right? But remember when Sengun missed those games late in the season, the Houston Rockets
I
got
won't.
scorching hot.
He got scorching hot, but I won't use that as an indictment that Sengun is not a winning
Or
basketball
is a
player.
true indicator. That's not a true indicator of who the
Yeah,
Houston
yeah,
Rockets are,
yeah.
right? But man, data is wonderful to have, though.
Absolutely.
I think Alperen Sengun right now is 5 times the player that Mitchell Robinson is offensively. Defensively, Mitchell Robinson is 5 times the defensive player Alperen Sengun is.
Yeah.
Right now. Right. So basically you'd be trading offense for defense. But man, if you're talking about a baby Jokic with all the weapons in place, bro.
I mean, he would be the ideal fit with all these wings and guys that can score off the ball and cutters, and yeah, it would be the most ideal fit. But I, I almost want to bring it back to someone that I suggested the other day to you,
I can't
Christian Wood.
remember.
Christian Wood.
Oh, Chris, you talking about yeah. Would you do Mitchell Robinson for Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes?
Mitch makes too much money.
Because them together they make what, $7 million?
Yeah, probably even less, man. Dudes might make 5 million altogether.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and
So yeah,
if I was talking like a skill set and attainable,
you could do Keita Bates Diop for Christian Wood right now, I think.
and like a couple seconds
You
from
think they
our
would ask for that
stash.
too? You think as wing needy as they need shooting.
They need shooters
They need
more than
shooting in the
anything.
worst way. They got wing players, man. They just need if their wings players could shoot. If Cam Reddish and D'Angelo Russell could shoot, they wouldn't even be considering that. But the Christian Wood thing, I like it. I just don't like Wood as a starting center. I think Wood is see, the thing is, if you trade for Christian Wood, then what do you do with Precious? Right? Because if you have a 6'9" big coming off the bench, that's just offense only. And Christian, I don't know. How's Christian Wood's overall defense?
I think he sees ball and go gets ball. Like in a team concept, unfortunately, if you have like a training camp with Tibbs can't weaponize anybody that has rim protection skills.
Right.
But if you're bringing him in mid-season, he's not going to know his call-outs, his communication, and all that type of stuff. Like, we already know what Tibbs can do with a mid to late 20 center in this league.
Right.
He can make a lot of guys look good. He can get a lot of guys some money, too. But it needs time. He needs to sink his claws into the bigs, especially defensively.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Christian Wood, man. I see ESPN has him listed at 6'8", 214. So ESPN has him listed as basically the same size as Cam Reddish. See, that's concerning to me. And
He's not though. He's 6'10".
Yeah,
NBA.com has him at 6'10" with a 7'3" wingspan.
that's what I thought. And he only shoots 47% from the floor.
That's still pretty good.
For a
Considering
stretch,
he's
for a
a
stretch
perimeter
big.
player.
Yeah.
Like Randall shoots 47%.
And that dude he's only 28.
Yeah. He's not old as dirt. I think he turns 29 in the season, but he's not that old.
I like the Christian Wood conversation. I don't know if I like the Christian Wood compensation.
You wouldn't give up like a second and like Diop for him?
Oh, the seconds don't even matter to me. I don't even care about the second round picks, bro. Give them all. Give me all of them. Just give them all to him. I don't care for him and Jackson Hayes. I don't care. I don't care. But in terms of the what the player does when he arrives, that might concern me some. I can see Christian Wood becoming the new Evan Fournier here. I can see Christian Wood becoming the new Cam Reddish here if Tibbs say something out of the way, and it's just Obi Toppin all over again.
Yep.
You know, I could see that, especially with Christian Wood being that Christian Wood. And I don't know if you remember this or not, but you remember when UNLV used to keep the top power forward in the country. I think they had. I think Sean Marion is from there. I think Anthony Bennett is from there. I think Christian Wood is from there. There was another guy from Vegas. From I can't remember who, but maybe he was there after Christian Wood. Yeah. But you can depend on Vegas having a top power forward in the country, right? The thing with Christian Wood is historically his motor gets questioned. Like his offensive motor is always on. His defensive motor sometimes.
Some Tommy.
Yeah, you can't.
But this is the twilight of his career. If he don't get it right now, he's never gonna get another contract of note anyway.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you have Christian Wood, is he not the same impact as Keita Bates-Diop? Like who's the better 3-point shooter?
If we're talking about rim protection, the physical ability he has, Christian Wood, especially in tandem with positional flexibility, would matter more for our roster.
Yeah.
Like he can actually play center and he can actually shoot from center and he can actually protect the rim from center. Whereas Keita Bates-Diop at his most optimal is a worse version of whatever.
He's Dorian Finney-Smith. Basically.
Yeah, I'm saying, at his best, he's a worse version of whatever OG and McHale and Josh Hart would give us. Yeah. And at that point, it would just be diminishing returns.
But he stays healthy and he's a hustle guy.
Yeah.
Right. He always buys it. And for his lack of major contribution, because he's not a scorer and he's not an elite rebounder, but he's the epitome of the glue guy. Guard 2 through 4. I'm not going to say he guards 5. Maybe he guards today's 5s, but not traditional 5s, right? Maybe he can guard the DeAndre Aytons who don't play physical at the rim, the Miles Turners that don't play physical at the rim, but he can guard 2 through 2. And I mean, I like him guarding those guys. I'm not saying he's OG Anunoby, everybody. So, but what I'm saying is I like him against any wing, any offensive wing in the league. I trust it. I just don't trust it on the other side, right? I think he's Nerlens Noel on offense. I think he's a worse version of Mitchell Robinson on offense. If that's even a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's a lot of stuff to think about, but I got to get out of here, man. I got to start doing calls at 8:00. You know how I like to do, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably stay up to like 5:30, and then get some sleep, and then get on the phone for like 10 hours drinking coffee.
Yeah. Peace, Reezy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, peace, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through, rocking, man. We're gonna holler.